Ladies love the skin.
Ow.
Bring it a little bit closer. The good skin, that is. That's why having a proper skincare routine is very important, and you need to feel the Teej. The process is so easy, just 4 steps. You got your daily face wash. That's gonna clean your face up nice and right. You got your exfoliator scrub. That's gonna open up your pores. You got your AM moisturizer with the SPM 20, which is gonna protect you from the sun. You also got your PM moisturizer, which is gonna make sure your skin is protected throughout the night. Teej has tons of reviews from dedicated customers across the world. I know I said a lot, but it's okay, because guess what? It comes with an instruction card to explain to you in detail what to do morning and night.
And because Teej is sponsoring this video, they're offering you an amazing deal. Just click the first link in the description to get 30% off your first skincare system and a free gift. Plus, as a member, you'll also get 20% off for life. By the way, both gifts you're choosing from are a $20 value and a complete game changer. A silicone body scrubber or a nail and face grooming kit. Personally, I prefer the silicone body scrubber. I don't like using towels when I travel, so the body scrubber is an excellent way to open up the pores and get the body clean. So don't wait any longer. Click the first link in the description to start your skincare journey today.
Maintaining your beard isn't just style, it's self-respect. A well-groomed beard boosts confidence and leaves a lasting impression. Elevate your look. Embrace the importance of beard care today. Let's go time. What's going on, family? Welcome to Lapeef. Let's talk. Let me go ahead and introduce the crew. We got Miss Ruth. We got Sweeney. Latoya, Barb, Trail, Smooth. Me, myself, Lapeef, say, we got a few more people coming through. We got right now. What's going on, family? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Can y'all hear me okay? How y'all doing?
Feeling good. Yes, sir.
Good.
Feeling good?
And by special request, listen, by special request, I not only have my carbonated water, I got some brown in my glass today.
Oh, okay.
Just remember you asked for it. Just remember you asked for it. So
Yeah, that was from, was that King Talk or last
I'm not. that was Tuesday.
Tuesday? Okay.
So yeah, whatever happens, man. Remember, I'll ask for it.
Okay, right, nothing wrong with that, man. Shout out to Tread, man, for
How make it all look brown to me?
say on the brown. She
Did you
kind of
see
watered down, right?
Oh, he had water chasing it.
No, I'm not chasing it. I just always stay hydrated no matter what. You know what I mean?
You cheating. You cheating.
Hey, no, seriously though,
I'm cheating.
you should drink water while you're drinking though. It does mitigate the hangover and stuff. But you know,
Yeah, coconut water is the absolute best, but you know, I'll settle for water today.
That's some processed coconut water, man. You over there drinking it? You are drinking it,
process.
unless you got a coconut.
The coconut's open.
Unless you got a coconut tree in the bag, man. Yeah, it's all processed, man. Check the
Get it
ingredients.
out the box, not the can. You're usually better off.
Okay. All right, let's go ahead and get the housekeeping out the way real quick. Shout out to the sponsor, Teej Hanley. Shout out to Teej Hanley. And they did switch it up on us. So now you guys are getting 40% off along with a free gift. 40% off along with a free gift. And you also get 20% off for life if you become a member. Click that link. The Teej works. Want your skin looking good? This is the way to go. Click that link right now. Also, if you're looking for something to get your beard in order, we got a Sure Man King on top. That link is pinned to the top of the chat. And it's also in the description. So if you're catching this on a replay, I will be doing a Father's Day special. So I probably started on Monday, man. I'll start that up on Monday. I'm going to do the Father's Day special. I'll probably go ahead and do 15% off for the fathers, man. So we can make sure we have some gift options ahead of time. It's right around the corner. So get your Sure Man King on top. That link is in the description as well. What's going on, Sam? How you doing?
Man, I'm tired. I know y'all see these bags. Okay?
Yeah.
It's a lot going on as usual. I'm
Look,
not seeing though.
listen.
Shit, we might
Get some
get
sunglasses.
Yeah.
Right. And at this
Join the
at this
sunglasses
point-
gang.
At this point, I'm thinking I need some sunglasses because
Yeah. But it ain't too late, man. You want to get the shades and go on here right now.
No sleep gang. No sleep gang.
I'm gonna try.
What's going on, D? Can you hear me, D? Mic check.
Oh, hey, how's everybody?
All right, everybody's going good.
What's up? Welcome.
We're going to see if we can get you a phone stand.
You know something, because, yeah.
Yeah, let me see if you can find some of them old encyclopedias. They usually do the trick, too.
Not the encyclopedias, but yeah, I'll get something next time. I'll be sure I have some steady.
I don't know about y'all. I used to have a bunch of encyclopedias. I ain't never looked at them when I was a kid. Just taking
I
them.
grew up on encyclopedias.
Yeah. Anyhow, let's go ahead and continue with this show. Let's see what we got in the chat, man. Anonymous, what's going on? Dale Matthew, Mr. BX87. True the Fat with Smoothies on the panel, but also in the chat as well. Let me see, live your life. Angela. Casey. Welcome, welcome. Hit that like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and share a stream. Share a stream with somebody if you want them to be able to see what we discussing tonight. I guess some good topics tonight. I think it should be a good one. I'm looking for everybody to participate. And don't be afraid to speak your mind, man. We're not looking for the exact answer. We're just looking for your answer. Okay, Sam? Okay, I'm about to write that one down. That was good. Let me get my pen. Shit.
Yeah, for sure. I'm thinking of master plans over here.
Yeah, there you go. I took a page from Darwin's book, man. All right, so let's go ahead and get it started, man. Our first, I'm just opening it up with this. It's an icebreaker, and then we just go ahead and dive into it. So some of y'all may care, some of y'all may not, but it has been a hot topic. Casey, she has finally responded with all that Diddy controversial. She came out with this and said, "Thank you for all of your love and support from my family, friends, strangers, and those I have yet to meet. The outpouring of love has created a place for my younger self to settle and feel safe now. But this is only the beginning. Domestic violence is the issue. It broke me down to someone I never thought I would become. With a lot of hard work, I am better today, but I will always be recovering from my past. Thank you to everyone that has taken the time to take this matter seriously. My only ask is that everyone open your heart to believe in victims the first time. It takes a lot of heart to tell the truth out of a situation that you were powerless in. I offer my hand to those that are still living in fear. Reach out to your phone. Don't cut them off. No one should carry this weight alone. This healing journey is never ending, but this support means everything to me. Thank you. Love always, Casey." She finally responded. I don't know if anybody has been in a situation, but like, what does her responding do to you? Is it just another typical day where you guys touched by the letter? Go ahead, Darren. I see it came off the mic.
I was touched by it. I'm glad that she was able to respond to give somebody out there that probably was looking forward to her having something to say about this situation. Because I mean, it's a lot of women that's going through it. I'm glad that she's able to get through it and she's able to figure out a way to continue her life and try to live in peace. But she stated something towards the end. She said that I think the pain is never ending, or the journey to heal is never ending. That's the only thing that really stuck out to me. Everything else was phenomenal. It's just that whenever you try to move on in another relationship with someone after going through that, and you not healed, maybe that could play on your compatibility with someone in the future. Maybe you're never healing, and it sounds like she's accepted that she'll never be healed. How does my concern is, how does that look for the guy that's willing to court you, date you, marry you, and perhaps maybe have a family in the future? Like, is that even possible, knowing that you're internalizing this trauma to a point where you don't even believe that you can get, the journey will never end? That's my only concern, and I'll yield.
Interesting point there. Go ahead, Ruth.
But that is a fact that you live with trauma. It doesn't go away. You just have to manage it. When I heard it, I just was like, we were on another show and I was able to talk about it and understand the point of like the responsibility of the victim without saying like, oh no, but like without going back there. So I think that, and then I realized like, oh wait, I talked about it and it didn't take me back there. Like I can still be objective. That's how you are, close to healing or healed. So you can learn, you can grow. That's like somebody having a horrible childhood and you say, well, you know what, I can't deal with you because you had a bad childhood, so you're going to be horrible to me. You don't know, but when you know somebody passed, you know how to move around them. You know what their triggers are. You know what they've been through. You know why they respond. Other people that are not self-aware can't even tell you what's wrong with them, what they've been through, and you don't even know how to move. So you might have a lot more clarity if she did the work. So
yeah.
And
for the people that's watching on the panel, Casey is married after splitting from Combs in 2018. After 6 years of dating, Casey, 37, found the love of her life. Her husband, personal trainer Alex, fine. The couple tapped the knot in August of 2019 in an intimate Malibu ceremony, and shortly after welcomed 2 daughters, Frankie, which is 4, and Sonny, which is 3, plus their dog, French Fry.
Well, it appears
Yeah.
that she's able to thrive. And I know it's none of my business on how they actually making it work, but I guess that's a clear example that if you do find yourself in a situation that's this disgusting, you could still there's still some hope that you can move on and get into a marriage. So I think that's a beautiful thing.
Oh, you sound like me now, Bruiser.
Hmm?
I said you sound like me now. I've been saying that only the whole time.
That's what's up. We see eye to eye on a lot of things. You just don't know.
I see how that. Can y'all hear me better now?
Yeah, you got a mic now?
Yeah, I have an upgrade, in my internet work too. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're going to see. I think one of the important things we're going to take away too is how important that foundation is. Typically, if the foundation is together on the front end, then it can eliminate a lot of things that may occur. Usually people that have gone through trauma, once that foundation gets interrupted, then you open up a whole nother can of worms with them. And it's probably going to go down here from now, especially if they're triggered by an act of such that reminds them of it. And or it could be something that's not associated with it, right? It could be something as far as trust. Once that trust gets broken in the beginning, then it starts to play into their psyche. And if you mess up, that's a whole other story. But go ahead. Anybody else want to respond? D, Samantha?
I do. Her words are definitely powerful. And even when she mentions healing, and I had this conversation with somebody the other day, you can be healing, but then there's a big difference from being healed from something. When you look at something that hurts you, and if we were to get cut, you see that scar tissue. Whether you're still feeling it or just having that impression, or even with triggers, this is something to where even though they settled out of court, but now, of the past is coming to light. How is that affecting her currently? And it's very important, even as you move on from a past situation to moving forward, it's also important for that person that you're involved with. What is his capacity, patience, being able to take on, I don't want to say her issues or her past, but if you're someone that does not have that capacity, or even a part, what they say, hurt people. And sometimes even if your own, ignorance or anything, if there's things in life that, you are still not over, I advise people all the time, like, you sometimes have to unfortunately face those demons, like face your past. And even if it hurts, sometimes you just have to live in that truth and that authentic. So for myself, I was in a past situation to where once I was done, I had to have my mindset to be ready to face like everything that was going to come. Did it come with some negative? Yes, it did. But the peace that I have now, like, I wouldn't trade it for the world. Yes, there's, lessons learned and everything. And then as I even continue to move forward, I'm not somebody, I don't dwell on the past, but sometimes our past can be, and with her being in the limelight with the celebrities, it's going to be broadcasted. People are going to have their opinions and what they say. And even if you have people that's speaking on it right now, everybody's like, oh, well, this person, forgot who it was, they were talking about him recently. I don't know if it was it'll come to me, but they started highlighting some of their past mistakes with women and just abuse and different things. So I think healing from something and just being on that recovery journey, this is something that is still, it's almost like kind of reopening that wound per se. And then it's like, how deep do you really want to go? How deep do we even get an insight to what she really went through? But it was a lot, but I do think it takes strength to begin to even talk about it and to really just be like, okay, this is what it is, ready, and let's just talk about it.
I think something else too to kind of, I think is very important is often the victim expects the person that they're dealing with to have patience, but the victim needs to have patience with the person that's interacting with the victim, because some people don't sign up for it. and often happens, it's not revealed in the beginning. And so since it's not revealed in the beginning, then it just comes up and it's like, okay, I never seen you act that way. What's going on? And then once you start doing a deep dive into the past, because you didn't disclose this, now they got to factor that in, because if these outbursts and these tantrums are going to be happening often, and that's something you got to factor in for the future. And some people don't. They don't want to deal with it. It's not their job to heal you and save you. So if you are a person that has gone through something, then you might want to reveal that early on versus later. And even if you do reveal it, it they might have to go through a few sessions themselves to understand how to deal with somebody who has had this level of trauma.
I definitely agree in what you're saying, and it goes back to what Bruce said earlier, just with carrying trauma, and that's something that people don't have to accept. They don't, and sometimes it can sound harsh, but if you're still somebody that's carrying a lot, I'm not obligated to help you through this. Now, I can support you, but it's not my load to carry or to make my burdens even heavier. Now, however, if I choose to be that person for you, that I can pour into you, that I can do this and X, Y, and Z, but I definitely do agree to your points.
All right. Thank you, D. Let's get a couple more other people on this. Sam, you wanted to say something, Toya?
Me, not really. It's a trigger for me. It's something that I'm just not going to even touch that subject. It's something that I'm just like, mm-mm.
Understood. Understood.
Yeah, I'm kind of fighting it too, Sam. Yeah, so much. Yeah, I agree with what you're saying as it relates to, um it's not anybody else's responsibility, and it's yes, it's a choice. But I feel like if you're aware in the beginning what someone has gone through, then it's you just want to be careful with how you handle them. And everybody, some people have knowledge and then still handle you in a certain way. So I don't know. I'm gonna tiptoe around that subject.
Understood.
A
Anybody else?
lot of women, a lot of women have to go through this. Like, this is something we have to, navigate through. A lot of women have been SA'd. A lot of women have been touched. Like, things are going to happen to women that don't happen to men. So if you guys are insensitive and say, oh, something happened to you, no. Like, just like if a lot of men go to, I'm not going to say like most black men go to jail, but some of y'all get locked up for a weekend, or you've been harassed by a cop or whatever. I'm not going to judge you. And I know this is what comes with being a black man. So the less judgmental you are, the more open-minded you are. I'm not saying somebody that's like, they have this horrible pattern and then they went and made a whole bunch of bad decisions. Yeah, that looks like a walking red flag. But if they're changed, you can see their behaviors change. You make sure that you have proof. And I'm sure Diddy was so evil that if she's with a good man, that he's not even gonna go anywhere near that behavior, and she can appreciate a good man even more because of what she had to go through. She may not take him for granted. So it just depends on like how much you love each other. Anything like can be worked through. Like, people go and have marriages for 35 years. You don't think they won't go through anything? Yeah, things gonna happen. So you gotta, it's the maturity part where it's like, what do I love this person? What do they do for me? And I'm willing to accept this, not that.
So Ruth, with that, right? I know, Marcus, you speak to this a lot. You have to be equipped to be able to deal with that, right? Let's just say that your counterpart is dealing with their own struggles, or maybe they just are not familiar with people who have dealt with trauma. They might have came from a great home, but they just are completely unfamiliar with it, right? It's foreign to them. They don't know how to behave around it. They'll see people acting a certain way because it's work, right? There's certain things that is just going to derail your everyday life. Like when people have fears and they have trauma, that sometimes they have mood swings and there's different things. It has to be, like you said, someone that is willing to pour into you, but it also has to be somebody who understands how to pour into you. And I don't believe that all of us are equipped with that. I think it's actually a talent or a gift or whatever you want to refer to it as, but it's something that not all of us have, right? For one, you do have to absolutely care for that person because it's going to be extra work that you otherwise would not have to deal with, right? And it's disgusting that people do that to people. And it's also normalized in some cultures. And we don't even talk about that. There are, and I'm not saying ours, but there are some cultures where that is absolutely normalized and completely underreported, right? And you see it go on, and some of us are neighbors with some of those cultures, and you hear the thumps. I personally have witnessed it, and I'm like, damn, what was that? You know, and it is what it is. It happens to some people, and that's their life, and they don't get out of it, and they stay with that person, or married with that person, children with that person, or for whatever reason, maybe they don't have the means to leave or to leave. And it's horrible for people to deal with that. But if you make an escape, sometimes it's tough because they're not going to be normal, right? You're going to have to sometimes walk on tails. You're going to have an extra level of understanding to be able to deal with that person. But if you don't understand it, you've never witnessed it, you've never been around it, it's going to be very tough for you. So it isn't something that I would advise everyone to do. You have to naturally be a patient person, and you have to be a knowledgeable person, because you have to develop that skill set unless you are naturally gifted at dealing with people with trauma, which most of us aren't. So you have to be able to do that, and it's not for everyone. So if you feel like it's too much for you, then you probably shouldn't take that on, right? Because you just don't know how, and then you could then be in a toxic relationship with that person, not because it's any of your faults, but because it's just a bad matchup, because you aren't equipped to deal with that. And that person needs someone who knows how to deal with that. And hopefully, it sounds like she's doing well, and has moved on from that situation, at least mentally, where she can function normal with somebody who absolutely appreciates her. And that's great. But not everyone is like that. There are some people who I've encountered who are very different because of it, right? Just like if you talk about people who are SA'd, it's absolutely going to affect your sex life, right? And some people just can't deal with that. That's one thing. Sometimes people might just be in a shell. They just might not talk for hours, right? They relive that situation. That's tough for people to deal with. You wonder why they're so removed or so distant. And you're like, damn, what did I do? And they won't tell you. Maybe maybe they don't feel comfortable talking to you about it because of their lack of understanding. So they know you don't get it, but they really like certain attributes that you possess, but they're not all in. They don't have that trust or maybe they just don't want to relive it. Maybe they don't know how to talk about it. So that person has to come healed to a lot of people. If they don't come healed, then they have to have someone who's very special to be able to take on that responsibility.
And I think we're talking about two different people. I'm talking about the healed person. If you didn't do the work, then don't get in a relationship. You need to do, if somebody had, like I said, if you can heal and move forward and progress in life. You guys still hear me?
We can hear you now.
Yeah, what happened?
I was getting a call. Yeah, you could just keep, the person's like they passed it. You don't even see it. You wouldn't even know that they've been through that stuff. There are people that are healed, that do the work on themselves. There are people that, recover. Just because something can happen to you doesn't mean you get stuck in that forever. So if somebody is displaying bad behavior, or they don't talk to me like that, or I can't have sex because I was this and that, they're using it as an excuse. That is not somebody you want to be with anyway, because they don't do the work on themselves. So now let's say you get into a marriage with that person and y'all have something happens, they're never going to be able to recover because they couldn't recover from that before. But when you're dealing with somebody that has recovered from some stuff, you can see like how they handle those kind of situations. I'm not saying that's the best thing to recommend, but things happen. Like life really happens. And I know there's young men, there are a lot of men that I've spoken to that got molested when they were younger. So it's on both sides.
Okay.
We also had to acknowledge the fact that there's a lot of men who go through this situation too, right? Where women are the aggressors when it comes to DV, right? And it's embarrassing for men. So of course that's absolutely underreported, because who are you going to tell? Like, first off, she's like, oh, well, you go ahead and say something. I'll just say you hit me. And that's one part of it. Or it's just embarrassing. Or you're supposed to be a man. How you let her do that to you? It's not something that you can't even confide with your homies about it, because it's like, man, you pussy. What's wrong with you? Like, that's for real. Like, what you mean? Why you let her do that? Why did you let her do that? They'll laugh at you, joke at you. Like, it's fucked up how bad it is if you try to confide in people. It's so embarrassing that you don't even want to. And a professional would be great, but a lot of us ain't got the insurance for professionals. So who do you talk to about this as a man when this happens to you?
All right, Marcus, you want to add anything?
I think I get the question. Just jumping in, because if I'm off topic, just let me know and redirect me.
It was just that she just responded back, so it was just Casey's the letter. Did you see it? Okay, you can
I can skim read it though real quick. We're coming past first time. All right, Ellen Journey. All right, got it.
Another sound effects.
No.
Hey, you ain't read shit.
You want to ask me a question?
Marcus ain't no speed reader, yo.
Ask me a question.
I can't because I ain't even read it.
That photographic memory.
Oh my God.
What'd you say? What was the question?
Photographic memory.
I can't hear you.
He said he can't ask you no question because he didn't read it.
Oh, well, all right. So the answer is, or what I think about it is, I think Trev got my talking points, because that's exactly what I was gonna say. You got to be in a position where you can deal with it, because you got to be healed to the point where you control it in control of your triggers and cognizant of their triggers, and patient enough to wade through them and navigate that situation without turning somebody off or on. A lot of times, especially when I was talking about like sexual assault, it manifests itself in like extremes. So you get somebody that's overly promiscuous, like they devalue sex as a woman to the point where, and I guess it's possible with a man too, I guess, where they devalue themselves to the point that they can why you nodding your head, Ruth?
I thought you was on our side, but I just keep forgetting you're a man. You gonna just always be on this side. I guess it's possible for a man. Slightly, maybe 1%. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I
Ruth,
get
this
y'all
ain't no
point,
him or her side. It's a DV versus victim.
We want to keep our one, okay? We try to keep them over here, but that's okay. Go ahead.
no, but so he says the pain is secure. Now, hopefully it don't fall. I hope all that. I ain't let the window up, so it's possible if the storm get to blowing. But yeah, it manifests itself in extremes. So it'll be the extreme promiscuous women. I seen a show the other day. I done caught the last 2 episodes of that show, The Never Have Met, and in that show, what I found interesting was the women who had been through they had a test where they was trying to create intimacy through bondage, where you tie the person up with a rope, and then like you trust them to like lean you forward, lean you back, and do all these things. It's a simulation exercise of allowing somebody to have power and control over you. And all of the women who had been through a sexual assault experience, they needed to be in control of the man and tie him up. And that manifested itself in the relationships too, because those women were also aggressively dominant towards those men. And those men, trying to work through the pain and help her heal, were allowing themselves to be dominated. And it may not have been because they were soft. It may have been because they thought that was the best way to help her heal, by being patient and kind of conceding and giving her like what they felt she needed in order for the relationship to move forward. But by doing that, they doomed the relationship, because now she lost respect for them because she had to dominate them. And it's a nuance in there where you would have to learn how to instill trust, so she felt comfortable giving you that power while still maintaining your dominance and not making it a force, so she feels like you're forcing her into it and driving her deeper into the hole. So it's a whole lot that goes on with those dynamics, and you got to be really attuned to pick up and notice all the small minute things that might be really, really minor to you, but to that person it's a super trigger, and they might not even be able to vocalize it to tell you. And now you like, damn, she got an attitude out of nowhere. Well, really, she got an attitude because the grape soda reminded her, because that's what she was looking at when she was getting sexually assaulted, and now she's having a flashback, don't feel comfortable talking about it, and you like, damn, what you so upset about? And it's a grape soda right there the whole time, and she's just sitting there staring at it, and you have no clue what the issue is. So it's a whole lot that go into that. But prayers to everybody involved.
All right. We'll go ahead and transition. You guys just tuning in. Welcome to Lapeef Let's Talk. If you do me a favor, hit that like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Appreciate everybody that's engaging in the chat. I see you guys are being very respectful, and we appreciate your patience as we was able to comb through that very sensitive subject. I'm trying to go ahead and get into a little bit of action. I'm a little rusty over here. I'm trying to take this damn topic off of there. So Sweeney sent me a topic. We had this topic inside of the King Talk group, right? King Talk group. All right. So this one is love bombing. Is it real? Love bombing. Is it real? That's just something we just threw together. So it's going to be something along those lines. I'm going to play the clip. And then right after the clip, Luis, which you guys see him on King Talk, and also Lapeef and Sunday, he had a response. And then we're going to go ahead and have this dialogue. Y'all ready? Y'all good? Okay, here we go. Play this clip. I would have had the damn clip in there already, but I guess I didn't. Here we go.
That did everything to pursue me. I am talking wine and dine, have these deep emotional moments with me. I mean, we would cry together. He would write these love letters to me. I mean, one day I remember saying I was sick, and maybe like 20 minutes later, there was a knock on my door, and my doorman came up, and he had delivered soup for me. Oh. And I think even a humidifier. This is so random. I was sick and like clean, like, a whole thing. Yeah, right. And this was like the norm for the first 2 years of our relationship, to the point where even his family and his friends were like, this is a changed man. We've never seen this version. So, and that fed my ego. That made me feel like, oh my gosh, like I've changed him. He's totally different. This is real. This is true. And then 2 years into the relationship, once the love experience, the in-love experience had ended, he was a completely different person. He was cold with me. Wow. I felt like I couldn't reach that person that I fell in love with anymore.
Everybody copy that? Just real quick in one sentence, what do you guys think happened? Let's go start with you first, Marcus. Just in one sentence, what is it?
Started how he could not finish.
Proof?
He had his representative working.
What about you, D?
Honestly, that nothing is coming to me off that clip.
Okay. Might have to play it again. Go ahead, Trev.
I wish you would have completed your thought, but from what I get, I say that he probably should have dialed it back a little bit. I feel like sometimes you just can't give that much because you will be taken advantage of. You said one sentence, so I'll stop there.
All right, go ahead, Dara.
I think he set expectations in a way that where he couldn't be consistent.
Samantha?
I don't know. I think it's love bombing. Off top, he's giving her something that he can't keep up with, like everyone else is saying. Like, seriously.
All right, Swing.
You're starting something you can't finish.
I don't really. I'm gonna let you figure it out, but I did want to respond to Bruiser. 2 years ain't consistent. That's pretty goddamn long time to keep up. Like that's
consistent is consistent. Consistent doesn't have I wouldn't say consistent have a duration of an ending. It's just continually to plateau or whatever you want to call it. Continue at that same rate. That's what consistency is. Anytime you stop it, it is no longer deemed consistent.
Fair enough.
So are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Just one sentence when you heard that. What did you think?
I just think he could no longer pretend anymore. Like he can no longer keep up the facade. Like at some point, his true colors was gonna show.
I think he just went broke, maybe.
Okay. Well, we're gonna dive into it. I'm gonna go ahead and bring this up with Luis. He says, "But do you guys really believe that he was the issue?" Though honestly, I believe what might have happened was he was really interested in her, and he showed up for her consistently like no other man had. Even in her own admission, he brought me soup. He wrote me love notes. Blah blah. But notice that she never mentioned a single thing that she did for him. Notice carefully how she never mentioned how she reciprocated. I think he got tired of showing up for her, and she never showed up for him. And lastly, of course, she's gonna think he changed. She got comfortable. What Brother Luis said. I'll go ahead and open up to you, Sweeney, to kind of go ahead and lead the discussion. So you came off the mic. You want to say something?
No, I was just gonna say she did say that, you know, it fed her ego when his family and friends would say that he was a different kind of person. So it could be possible that she didn't reciprocate and that he did, like, you know, realize that at some point.
Okay. Go ahead, Sweeney.
Yeah. So this is kind of what sparked it because it immediately got me thinking about love bombing. How so many people accuse somebody of love bombing. Oh, he love bombed me. He did all of this stuff for me, and then out of nowhere, he just was a completely different person. And sometimes I think now, not to say that love bombing isn't real. I'm not going to say that. I think it's actually a real term, and it does occur. However, I don't think it happens as often as people claim that it does. I think a lot of people are unappreciative of the things that people do for them, and that person who does those things for you can feel that. They can see it, and eventually they get tired of doing it. So once they tired and they back off, you know what I mean? Now all of a sudden he's a completely different person. When in reality, you never upheld your end of the bargain. You never reciprocated. You never even acknowledged his effort. Yeah, you went to your homegirls and bragged about all the shit that he did, but you never showed him. So that's that. Like when Luis said that, I was like, damn, because I always hear about love bombing. That kind of, you know what I mean? That kind of made it make sense for me.
Wouldn't you think that maybe she wasn't? I mean, she didn't tell her side. Well, the other side of the story, which would probably come from him. But it seems like maybe something she was doing that she stopped, caused him to stop. But me personally, I don't think that's enough. If that's what you want to do for your woman, if that's who you are as a man, you should just do it because that's who you are. But on the flip side, if you're doing it to get something in return, maybe you should confirm that you're able to get that in return at the rate that you're doing it in the beginning, instead of waiting 2 years in to figure out if she can return it. As me personally, I think it's self-inflicted when you wait so long for your work to get a return on its investment, and then it don't happen, and now you got to change who you are. I would say just make sure that you're getting it in the beginning, so that you don't have to deal with this nuance when they find out, hey, well, she must don't love me the way I love. Because I think all of us can say that one in a relationship, one of us may love the other person more than they are, or it may appear that way. I don't think everybody really loves each other or shows love to each other evenly. There's always one person that does more and one person that does less. But if that's who you are, just do it.
You don't have you ever worked a job that you gave your all to and you didn't feel like that you were getting any return on your investment and you felt like it was time for you to stop or leave?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I have, but I no. Let me correct that. I have never worked a job, intentionally worked a job hard and bust my ass for, without knowing that there was a promotion or there was some type of reward for doing the work. If I know that at the end of my work, at the end of my hard work, there was no appreciation for the things I did, and it's rewarded with promotion or pay raises, then I don't work that hard.
How do you know if a job is going to reward you with a pay raise? And I'm gonna tie it back into the relationship thing.
Well, I think before anybody does any hard work, they're looking into.
Hey,
They're
pause, bro.
probably communicating with the peer employees to see, like, okay, what are the end result of me actually pulling 80 hours a week? Like, what do I get for that? Man, I did that. You get this and that, and you might make sergeant if you go do this. If you do 80 push-ups, 90 sit-ups, and you run a 13-minute 2-mile, you can get promoted. They're gonna send you to a board. See, I think the investigation starts before you start putting your time and energy in it. If you actually value your time and energy. But if you don't, and you also got to compensate for your passion. If it's your passion, if it's something that nobody can pay you to do, that you get in day up and you just crave doing what you love, it doesn't even matter whether you get rewarded at the end. So you have to also look at that.
Well, I would argue that we as humans, we all know how demoralizing it can be to work hard or to give so much effort and then not yield the results that you want or yield any results at all. So you know what I mean? Whether that's work, whether that's relationship, because you're making it sound as if there had to be a full-blown confirmation that, hey, you're most definitely going to get a promotion if you work these 80 hours, rather than understanding that you have the mindset of, I know my father worked hard and he got his promotion and he worked his way up through the ranks. And that's what you're constantly told is if you do the work and you work hard, it's going to yield good results. And so when you work for a job that you do that for and you don't see the results, you don't think that might make you say, you know what, I'm going to either leave this job alone or move on to something else?
No, I wouldn't know. First of all, I understand what you're saying about not having any confirmation for the reward you should reap from doing the hard work. But I will say there is some type of insurance. So you move in a way to where you can insure yourself or you tap out. But for example, if I did work a job very hard for a very long time, I've investigated what the results or the reward should yield. And if I don't get it, I don't quit. I actually go to HR and I get what I'm owed, so to speak. I've actually had that happen before. I didn't quit. I didn't say I'm going to go switch jobs. I actually looked at the amount of hours I accumulated over time that by policy rewarded me with the next position or the next pay upgrade. And if that didn't happen, then I took it to the superiors and they corrected that. I didn't quit because I think that's a waste. If you know for sure that the record shows that, hey, look, you work this hard, this is what you get. And this is actual policy. This is in black and white. And you sign it whenever you're onboarding through orientation or whatever for a job. And you don't get those things, then you can actually go take that up with HR. And I think Lapeef said it best when he take it to HR.
You ain't know. Have you ever heard of the phrase "going where your work is appreciated"?
Yeah, but how do you know it's appreciated until you do the work?
Well, for instance, because you using the term quit, but what if you seek out another job and they offer you the raise or the promotion that you were looking for and they recognize your work, whereas this particular job doesn't? So to tie it back in, what if that guy found greener pastures elsewhere? What if he found a woman that actually does appreciate it and he left her alone and was like, no, I'm good on you?
Well, see, when you try to compare work to a woman, you got to understand, in being employed, it's like they have to give it to you if it's policy or if it's just best practice for an organization to reward you for your work. But you're talking about a woman. Yeah, one could argue that is best practice, but it's a privilege. She can say, oh, well, I don't want to do it, and she don't have to do it. You get what I'm saying? Versus a job, you can actually file a lawsuit.
Well, the thing is that I get what you're saying, and Ruth's trying to get in, so I'm going to keep this short. And you're absolutely right. She doesn't have to give it. But why does that make him a bad person for no longer wanting to provide that and going to greener pastures. She don't have to do anything for it, but he doesn't have to continue to do it either, and then be considered a person that is love bombing or switching up on her, or in the negative and that negative stereotype or that negative connotation that comes with it. He should just be looked at as a person.
I would say it made him a bad person, because if you listen to her voice and how she said how he did this and all this, and it just stopped. I think he led her or strung her along under an impression that, hey, I love you. This is who I am. These are the things I'm willing to do for you on a consistent basis. But it isn't clear that he painted the expectation that, hey, look, these are the things I want in return. And if you don't give them to me, then it stops. I don't think that conversation had taken place, which makes him a bad person.
You don't think that
if you're gonna use a transactional style relationship dynamic, these details need to be explained so the woman don't feel like, oh, he just cut me off. Like, damn, nigga, you could have told me you wanted me to, what you say, it's Trev Gawk 3000? You could have told me you wanted Gawk 3000 every Thursday.
Yeah, you kind of speculating
giving it to you. But I'm saying it's a communication issue.
Why do you assume he didn't communicate?
I mean, we can. If the details aren't laid out, then we reserve the right to make assumptions.
Go ahead, Ruth. You're on mute, Ruth. I don't know what's going on.
Sorry.
There you go.
All right, you saying it's love, but we're saying it's love bombing, but there was no manipulation that she said. So I thought that I thought she was in an abusive relationship. So I assumed that that's what she was talking about. I thought she was going to say he did this to me and he did that to me. Just to say somebody stopped. I agree with you guys. Like, she could have not been reciprocating. She could have been annoying. She could have did a lot of things. She could have been immature. And so people can change their mind. They have a right to. I always used to say, like, hey, if you ever change your mind, just let me know. Like, and I'll go. You ain't got to say nothing to me. I'm out. Right. So, and Durbin was saying how you needed to have a reward before you do the work. But sometimes, like, that's why people are stuck, because they feel like, I'm not going to work hard on my job because they don't pay me enough. But in reality, if you work at your maximum potential, somehow, some way, another door opens and you get a bigger opportunity. And it's because you are lackadaisical or giving 50%. That's why you keep getting the same results. So you don't always have to see, all right, I'm getting this out of something, so let me go ahead and try my best. Sometimes you just give your all, and you start to grow as a person. You start to do things on your own. You start to make your own opportunities. So I just think that that's why it keeps a lot of people broke, thinking like that when it comes to jobs.
Thinking like what?
I have to get a return before I even start working. Like, it has to be a reward. Like,
so do you go to work knowing that you're not gonna get a paycheck?
Are you here right now? Are you getting paid? Maybe you're getting paid.
I'm asking you a question. Do you go to work knowing that you're not getting a paycheck?
I have my own business, so yeah, I work for free sometimes. Yep.
I'm talking about working for someone else.
It doesn't matter. Work is work. So now when I do get paid by somebody else, I can appreciate it even more, because I knew what it took to build to make that paycheck happen.
Well, I think when me and Sweetie had a conversation, we were talking about being able to know that, hey, look, the amount of work I do will be appreciated by the company. And then they're having certain policies, certain pay upgrades and positions available. Like, a lot of companies will tell you that they have a good rate of promotion within the first year or 2 years.
What if you work for a small business, right? It's your family business, but you get to learn a lot of things that you can run your own business. This is potentially $1 million business per year, but they're only going to pay you pennies. If you read Rich Dad Poor Dad, he only paid them $2 an hour. He said, I'm not going to pay you anymore, but eventually that guy became rich. So it's a different mindset is what I'm saying.
I think it's logical I think it's logical to know that if you can earn the company more money by putting in more work, then the returns are going to come back to you.
but it's not always about more work, because you can work hard and not smart. So if you're strategic, I like your strategy. I'm just saying it's not the only way to think. If you're strategic and you like, you know what, I'm gonna do this on my own. Like every job I had, I did above and beyond. And then all of a sudden I'm put in the backup manager, and then I'm the manager, or I'm not saying manager in every case, but I like when I was in middle school, I didn't know how to jump double dutch. They put me on the B team with the big kids, right? So it was a bad team, right? But the good team, one girl, she had a bad attitude. So I just kept coming. It was really embarrassing. But one day she messed up and I got her spot. So I took that lesson and saying, you know what, I'm gonna always play the backup. I'm gonna get warmed up. I'm gonna play the backup, and next thing you know, I'm gonna be the light that's shining. So if you think like that and you're like, I don't gotta get paid for this. Like you join the sports team in middle school, you don't got to get paid for that. Certain things you don't have to get paid for. You're just growing as a person, and now you have a bunch of skills. A lot of people don't have no skills because they're not willing to work on themselves, but they want the money.
I think we speak in this same language. I think the semantics is the issue. I agree with you that if you do play a sport and you play at a competitive level, when your number is called, you're gonna be put in the starter lineup. But I do know there's something internal in the mind whenever you out there working out, getting your reps in, and you working hard in your game to see if you could get any playing time. The end goal is to get into the starting lineup. So at the end of the day, the same point still remains. You're still trying to get that reward being in the starting lineup, but you don't know when it's going to come.
But you saying that you have to be working so hard.
Well, I think
you know what I mean?
So everything is situational. So I think in the situation that you're bringing up, then yeah, it makes sense. And that's why he's able to agree with you. But if you're in a situation where you have a job, because I've worked a job where you was paid by the hour. So it didn't really matter how much work you was doing. They're still not going to reward you. The minute you mess up, you F up, they're going to can your ass because you're just a number. They're going to fast players to replace you. So it's up to you to assess that situation and to understand now you can work hard and hard. And sometimes you're moving too fast. It's unsafe. Well, that's when the accident or injury happens. So you have to pace yourself. But I'm not about to overwork myself if you know that that's not what you want to do for the rest of your life. Now, if it comes to, I think sports is different because everybody's competing and it's competition. I don't think it's competition at certain jobs. Like if you're a police officer, I don't think you out there trying to be super cop going out there, make all these damn arrests. And, I mean, you might get promoted or something like that, but ain't nobody trying to do all that.
So let me ask you this, Lapeef. I know we don't really question the moderator, but I think this is a chance for you to shine, brother. All right. So check this out. Let's say me, you, let's say Mr. M. White is the supervisor. He's 19 years and 18 months. 19 years and 8 months out from retirement. And me, you, and Trev is could be promoted to that position, and we get a higher salary and more leadership or whatever, or more obligations or whatever. Wouldn't you work harder until your number's called? Or wouldn't, like, you would know that, hey, look, he's leaving soon. There's this communication going around the peers that work there to say, hey, look, man, that position is coming up soon. You can see the reward in hindsight. So you start working harder. But Sweeney, he just got here yesterday. He is not finna work hard as me, you, and Trev because he didn't have the tenure we have to even get considered for the position. You get what I'm saying? So he don't see a reward for it. So therefore, he's not going to even be trying to do overtime or anything like that.
Well, I think you forgot the fact that Sweeney is connected. Like he was brought in because he knew somebody.
I think we're completely overcomplicating the matter when we start bringing this into the workplace and everything else. Like, F all that, man. For real. Like, okay. One thing that we're missing, there's something that she said in there that we just ignored, right? She said it fed her ego. What you think that mean? When I fed her ego, what that means? She in cruise control at that point. She chilling. She don't give a damn. Like, she like, I got this, homeboy. That's what females do. You a whole lick. Stop it. She was taking advantage of the damn situation. Why are we playing like females ain't got game? Like, are you kidding me? This is what females do. We act like dudes are the only dudes, like, are the only people out here that's predators. No, females are extremely predatory. They just go after your finances versus your body, right? The dude was doing what it do. He thought he was supposed to do that because we're taught as children that sugar and spice and things that's nice, but that's bullshit. That's what we're told to do, right? Me myself, culture shock. I was told the same bullshit, right? That's bullshit. What people would refer to as love bomb, because that's what I was taught to do. Take care of the women. Do this, do that, do that. You know what? I got slapped in the face a couple of times. You know what I did? I stopped caring. Stop caring. You know what? And then said, you know what? I'm going to deal with a whole lot of jammies. And you know what? They responded better to me. And this goes back to my other point. Sometimes you just got to dial it back, right? You need to have some type of discernment. And that's why I say you got to get your XP up. It's unfortunate, but for dudes, guess what? We probably should date a lot of people just to get your weight up. I try not to tell people to do that. Just be at least forthcoming if you're going to do that. But when you develop your XP, you start to be able to see these things very easily and very early. Right?
Question.
You're going to take some L's in the beginning. You get it, but I ain't done yet. So dig it. He should have been dialed it back. That was his problem. He just let it go. She wasn't doing nothing the whole time. She was just sitting there sucking it all up. She knew what it was. You a lick, bro. You doing everything. That's why she said it stroked my ego. She over there bragging to the homegirls. Look, I got him doing da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, and that's funny. They laughing, they kikiing, and he over there suffering, waiting for her to reciprocate, waiting for her to do something. He waited too long, and that's why your point is correct, Bruiser. He should have known. But guess what? He didn't have the skill set yet. Why? Because he didn't have the XP, right? That's what it is, right? Either you're going to have to get XP or hopefully you have some older gentlemen in your life, some type of role model who gonna pull your coat and be like, yo, dig, this is how females behave. You should do this, this, and that. But guess what? When 80% of us are raised without a father, what the hell happens? You don't have that. So you're gonna have trial and error, and that's how we get better at it, by trial and error. It's his fault. Yes, ultimately he absorbs the responsibility, but it's the main problem he has is sheer ignorance of not understanding that she wasn't shit. She wasn't trying to do nothing for the homeboy. She felt like she was entitled. She was damn entitled. That's what she is. She's an entitled princess. And she cool. She look all right. And guess what? A lot of dudes is going to holler. Her ego been up. And he just made it even worse. He reinforced that. And when females think like that, guess what? They don't feel like they have to do anything because they have that sense of entitlement. And until they get that dude that everybody want that's going to humble them, she going to be like that. She ain't been humbled. She got humbled that time, maybe. But guess what? Somebody else done came in the picture and going to do the same damn thing for her because we overvalidate women for no reason.
Hey, go ahead, Toya. I see you got a look on your face. Toya, you there?
What'd you say?
I was just seeing the look on your face. It's like you was kind of, I don't know if you agree with him or.
Oh, no, I'm just gonna be quiet. No, I don't agree.
No, don't be quiet. Come on, man. Say what.
No,
hold on.
me,
You come up here. You gonna have to
take it.
speak your shit. You can't come up here and then get mum and all quiet and shit. If you got something to say, say it. God damn it, we all adults.
Yeah, just think out loud. Think out loud. There's nothing you can say that can actually offend me, for real. Go ahead.
Speak your shit.
Question.
Like,
No, you got
Ruth about to do right now.
Come on, Ruth. Come on.
I'm gonna bring you in later, Toya. So, Trev, question. So, when you said you had to get a lot of women, and that's how you started to roll. Now, when your wife came along, was she okay with you having a lot of women around?
Not really, but she had to deal with it. Next question.
No, what I'm trying to say is maybe it's a different type of woman that was excited that you had a lot of women, but some women, they are not, for that. Like, they're not going to be like,
all right,
God,
so you missed it. You missed it. Is that what you got from what I just said? She wasn't. Listen, no women were excited. No women were excited because I had a lot of women, right? I just did better because I dealt with a lot of women. I got XP. You know what XP is, right? You pay COD, Call of Duty or whatever. You get experience points. So the more women I dealt with, the more experience points I got. And with my experience points, I got better weapons and shit. So I'm better at it. You dig?
Yeah, the lot of women ain't for her, it's for him.
So it sounds like you took accountability and you got better game, and that's what.
Absolutely. There you go. There you go.
I think she thought you had women around.
With horrible game, right?
Yeah, he didn't have to spend any money on them XP points. I'm just saying.
Tell him.
You be surprised. I think what he's saying is the XP was trial and error and getting out there, building his confidence up through making mistakes and all this other stuff, so that he can.
You gonna take them L's?
Be better equipped. So we do spend, and I'm gonna use your word. I think it's pretty trendy, the XP thing. We do tend to become more intelligent with our decisions and how we thrive in a relationship when we do have experience. But I think that's why we come together as King Talk. And a lot of us creators make content because there's a lot of brother that lack the ability to get out there and get XP. So we kind of like create these tips and advice and stuff for them so they can move. Because the game changes. It just fluctuates and it's just harder. That's why you got to really stay up on top of the shit. But I don't agree with the fact that you call her, I don't know if you called her a predator or she was entitled or something like that. I think you just being too harder on that point. I think wouldn't say she took advantage because
come on, Bruiser, you can't now.
You gotta let me finish. I know what it looks like when a woman who is entitled. I know what it looks like when a woman takes advantage. When she start making those things that he's doing a requirement to have any attention or even get any love, experience, whatever, box or whatever, that's whenever you can label her entitled or using him. But she didn't tell him he had to do any of those things. Those are the things he decided to do. So can we really call her entitled or whatever names you want to call her? She was just there. She was just soaking it in. Like you said, she was sucking it up.
The girls was like, oh, he did that for you. Oh, they not like, you act like we was, they just be like, look what he did. He's so stupid. They be like, oh, it's so sweet. That's so cute. I can't believe he brought you.
Nah, stop it. Stop it. Because you know what? You know why that's a lie? Because I had women tell me that when I wasn't paying for him and the other dude was. Listen, literally, a woman told me, this is not just one, but I'm gonna give you one situation. Woman told me, yeah, she was not about to pick up the phone. It was another dude, but I was like, I don't care because I'm just dealing with him. I don't care what you do, as long as you don't care what I do. You know what she said? My job was the DS, right? The D supplier. That was my job. And you just understand that women purpose you. I don't know what you want to call it, but I'm just telling you what it is. So dig, the other dude, he was the financial dude, right? You can't tell me because I've seen the phone contacts and dudes be saved as Wilder or Cash App or whatever. That be the contact name in the phone. So stop it. Well, guess what? Maybe never you, but I seen it for real in real life. So you can't tell me that it don't exist because I've seen it by multiple women is what I'm trying to tell you. And she told me, yo, yeah, this dude, he been giving me money. He's stupid. She literally said that. She did not respect the dude because he tried to be a provider and cared about her and did all the right things and it bored the shit out of her. Stop it. That's real. That's real. And I'm not saying you because, okay, maybe not you.
Need to stay away
but what
from
I'm telling
predators.
you is that
it's not all women.
Hey.
Stay away from the predators.
But he didn't
never
say
said
that
it was
all
all
women
women.
were predators.
I didn't
He
say
said
all
she
women.
was a
I just said
predator.
it exists. Yes.
Women
said
are
she
like
was
this.
because I
Women are
recognize
like
I
that.
recognize it.
There
Dude,
are
let me
women
tell you,
like that.
I done dealt with probably 20 of them. I'm trying to tell you, just like her alone, just her type alone. I'm trying to tell you, I have the
100%.
XP. I've seen these women like you ain't seen these women. It could be. I've seen these women how you will never see these women is what I'm trying to tell you. And when there is no vested interest because they know that it's a dead end and there's no way that this will ever amount to anything substantial or legitimate or long term, you'd be surprised what these females will tell you. I got all the tea. I got all the secrets because they don't care. Because I pretend like I don't judge. Sure, I am in my head, but they stupid enough to believe that I wouldn't judge them. I was just using the game. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to drop gems in y'all, and you ain't trying to hear it. Listen to me.
You had F-boy energy,
we got
attracted
the women on
those
the
kind
panel. Let's get D, Sam, and Toya in there. Like, is this true? Like, are women saving men in special context?
Sam, be honest.
Have you ever done it?
I'm not saying you're doing it now, but have you ever done it?
No, hell no. I've been with my husband too long.
Okay.
Really?
All right, D?
Thank you.
D?
No, I know of women that do it, and it just depends on. It is it's women that move, and what Trev is saying. So I can speak on that from experience. But for myself, I am somebody that I'm like 100, 180. I'm somebody that do things for men, and actually just I'm more traditional. So it's, you know, but even just crossing into the dating rims and all of that stuff. But I know women that do it, and you know, they say they stupid, dumb. They know what to get out of a man. They know how to feed his mind, manipulate, and get whatever it is that they want with no hard feelings about it. So it just depends, honestly, who you dealing with. Again, it does come with just, you know, that experience or that plethora that people that I know that they like it. It feeds their ego. They want more of it. So I know men and women that do it. And then it just, you know, I tell people, don't associate me with like a group. I have a very mixed, you know, individuals, but for myself, I lead how I like to do for somebody versus I don't like the feeling of being used. So I'm somebody that I'm gonna show up for my man or whatever. But I know people that's willing to drain a man everything that he got, and you know, they try to do all of this excess. But I had a quick question as we're talking about love bombing. So she mentioned for 2 years. Is there a general length of what we would consider love bombing? Because if you take somebody that's been doing it for 3 months and suddenly they turn off, but versus somebody for 2 years, that's a long time to me.
What you said, D? Take your win. Take your win.
No, I'm actually happy that you asked that because I was thinking the same thing. I was like, is there a certain length of how long you're supposed to
like
do for someone?
I want to go ahead and get Marcus in there. Let Marcus respond because he ain't spoken in a minute. Go ahead, Marcus. Ladies got a point.
All right, damn, it's a lot. So to answer that question, I think Bruiser answered that question Darwin answered that question in the very beginning of the show when he said it's love bombing when you use it as a form of manipulation, and it's not something that you're able to maintain. You're just doing it in order to gain control over the other person. So he also, when he spoke about setting the parameters for what you wanted, because in a transactional relationship, and I don't even think it's transactional. I think that I know he cited transactional, but it's more so about appropriate voicing your expectations and giving somebody a chance to either meet them or not. So when he was saying that he thinks that the guy didn't express his expectations, I think the same thing. Because if you're going 2 years and you're constantly doing for her and you stop doing for her because it's something she didn't do and she wasn't able to voice that, unless she was just completely lying and they had multiple conversations about it and she just refused to speak on it at all, it doesn't get to that point. If he said, hey, this is who I am, I'm showing up XYZ, I'm caring for you like this, this is something I enjoy doing, I'm not doing this to gain some approval or to make you think I'm a good guy, any of that, this is just how I move, and he's expecting it to be reciprocated. And if it's not reciprocated and he didn't explain that he expected it to be reciprocated, that's on him. That's 100% on him. He did not set up clear expectations from the beginning. And by him not setting those clear expectations up, he set himself up for failure. That's part of the reason men are supposed to, when we talk about leaders, we're talking about taking the lead and ensuring that clear communication exists. If you fail to communicate what you expected, you fail to lead at that point, my guy. I'm sorry. That's how that shit worked. You failed to put out exactly what you expected in return. And now, quick story. Love bombing is absolutely.
Marcus, before you tell your story, are there certain things that is just understood that don't have to be explained?
I don't think so, because yes, they are. Yeah, I was going to answer the question for that, but yes, you're right.
Like when we as men go into relationships, aren't there things that women just expect that they don't even have to tell us, and it just automatically comes with the territory?
It depends on how long you're with that person. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
So I'm gonna answer your question so I can get to the story real quick.
All right.
So yes, there are things like you expect somebody to hold the door open and you say thank you or whatever, right? And they don't do it. Now, if you see that same person and you continuously hold the door and getting mad that they didn't hold it and you never told them, like, bro, that's rude. Like, you could at least say thank you, I'm not holding the door for you no more. Or just stop holding the door and they figured out like that's why, then it makes sense. So yes, they are things that are expectations, but once the thing that's expected to be done, the person doesn't do, you either A, figure out why they didn't do it, did they understand they were supposed to do it, or you stop doing it. You don't go 2 years holding the door for that person, and then you know what I'm saying. But we talking about in the context of a relationship where communication is supposed to be one of the fundamental building blocks of the relationship. So that's why it switches and become different. But the quick story is this: love bombing is absolutely real. I had a friend that did not know how to talk to him when we was in college. Another basketball player. He just could not. He didn't have no game, like no game whatsoever. This was back when AIM Instant Messenger was a thing. I don't know if y'all remember that. You used to have the AOL and I know I'm aging myself. I'm kind of old. So we used to have. They look like sidekicks, little blue sidekicks, where you could take and then get your instant messenger on. So he like, and White, what I say to him, I'm like, look, XYZ, whoop, whoop, whoop. Before I know it, he was talking to her like he was me. She fell in love with the person that he presented on the AOL Instant Messenger. I didn't know what love bombing was at the time. I thought I was just helping him out. She stayed with him 3 years, and the entire time she was waiting for the person she was speaking to in the AOL Instant Messengers to come out in real life. So essentially, I helped him love bomb her by not knowing what love bombing was and her falling in love with me via him.
That's not love bombing.
It is.
No, that's not.
It is love bombing. I set an expectation for something, and then it got removed because it essentially was manipulated. So she would like him. She got something that was not him.
But no, he learned the game from you. He just didn't
learn it though. He never learned it. She was essentially talking to me. He had asked me a question, I answer it, whoop, whoop, whoop. He'll send it to her. She'll respond. I'd be like, what she say? All right, say this. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I send it to her. He'll send it to her. They got together. She started fucking him. It was all good, but she was like, maybe he's shy. And when he get more comfortable, then the person who I was talking to in the beginning to come out, but it never came out. And she essentially stayed in that relationship 3 years waiting for that person. I talked to her about it afterwards because they told her what happened, and she was like, "That make perfect sense now."
That's catfishing. That ain't love bombing. Because love bombing would mean that he was doing it.
He was doing it via me, is why I'm saying it was, because he was pretending to be something. Because when I think about love bombing, I think about you doing things in order to gain control over somebody, right? And it's a form of a negative manipulation, even though it seemed positive at the beginning because you're doing good for that person. You're doing something with the expectation of removing that thing once you get what you want. So that's why I'm associating like that. And I also can see how you splitting the hairs and calling it catfishing.
Well, that's literally catfishing because you're assuming that he's trying to manipulate it. He's just trying to answer the questions the best way that he can. You don't know how to. So he's just using you as a way to answer those questions or get her attention. He just couldn't perform in person.
So let me get this straight for the record, fellas. Let's flip it. If you get into a relationship or you start dating a woman and she's giving you Gawk 3,000 for 2 years straight, and then all of a sudden cut it off, aren't you gonna feel offended?
It depends on it. It depends on what well, obviously I will feel offended. Obviously I will feel offended. However, if she stopped doing it because I wasn't reciprocating or I wasn't showing any appreciation and she felt like she was all in by herself and there was no me there, then I can say what I want to say, but that doesn't make her a bad person to decide to stop.
I'll keep it G.
I would say it makes her a bad person if she just stopped, because you painting me a picture of what you are and what you like. It's not authentic to me. It's not really what you want to do. Don't come to me as it's more like a quid pro quo.
That doesn't mean that it's not authentic. Maybe people do want to do the things that they do, but if it goes unappreciated, you no longer want to do those things. That's just human nature.
Yeah. So I can ask you the same question. Why do you think she felt it was unappreciative?
Well, there was things that she said, even Trev pointed it out, where she said it fed her ego.
Yeah, she probably felt like she was shit because she was getting treated like a queen.
Well, and honestly though, the whole
treat a woman like a queen, she's supposed to feel. She's supposed to have some type of glitter around her damn head, like nigga.
But a queen also supposed to reciprocate and appreciate the things. A queen don't just say "give me," and I don't give shit back. Like
I
that's
agree.
not a
I
queen.
agree,
That's
but
that's
there was
that's
no
elite.
details. It was no details saying that she didn't.
Well,
get
yeah,
money
fair.
back.
I added the context of I believe that she was. We're going off of my context here. She never said any of these things. All she said was that he did a bunch of stuff and he just switched up. I just added the context of sometimes people say those things, but in reality, a lot of the times they not reciprocating, and the person just gets tired of doing, and not receiving.
Sweeney, do you think?
So I would say the communication. But hey, look, if you like doing these things, just do it. Don't do it because you want me to do something else. Just do it because that's what you want to do. Because if we're gonna be in a relationship for 10 years, 20 years, I'm telling you, you gonna probably not like me as much as you did when you first met, and all that shit gonna be gone. And I think that's what the issue is. People trying to.
I know where you're coming from this from, Bruiser, because you're trying to like basically what you're trying to do is you're trying to argue it from a different standpoint. I see what you're trying not to yield on. It's okay.
So Darwin, to answer your question, right? If a woman is actually performing vacuum sealed Gawk 3000 double hand twist combo, right? Or this is what I'm gonna tell you. Look, and she just stops. That means she don't like you no more for a reason, or she doesn't care anymore, right? She don't love you. Like, and that's the whole thing. Like, your love language has to be different. You can't, like, if you say you love me, that means nothing. If you're not gonna do the vacuum sealed combo 3000 Gawk, right? If you're not doing that, then that means you don't love me no more. If you used to do that, then you just stop. Then I say you don't love me no more. You don't. And you can, how could you love me and not do that? You know what I'm saying? If you're capable of it and you just say I'm going to withhold or throttle, then you lost some love for me because you know how that makes me feel, and you decided to deprive me of that, strip me of it. How could you strip me of it? So that means you don't love me. And it could be a valid reason. It could be a valid reason, but for her to just stop means you don't love me no more. And I would want to know why.
That's right. And we learn this as kids. Whenever we do good things, or our father, our parents do something, or we do something and we get a good job, or we get some candy or a toy, we associate that behavior. We kind of consistently do that so we can get that in return. But the moment that we do it and then they don't, we're like, what the fuck? I do something wrong? So I'm in agreement with you. I take if you're gonna start off giving me Gawk vacuum sealed 3000 and then just stop, I'm offended like a motherfucker. We probably finna fight. I'm like, what?
As you should.
I mean, what if my throat?
I knew that's the angle you was coming from, Bruiser.
Like, damn. Don't catch a cold.
I'm saying if women can flip it on us, man, we got to be able to. I'm just saying, like, we want women to be consistent and cooperative and all these things, and then they stop. We gonna bury them under the sands. So
see, but I think when I have those conversations, Bruce, I normally talk about it when it's without cause. That, like, you know what I mean? Anything with cause, I'm willing to, you know what I mean, bend a little and have a better. And I'm assuming this is with cause. She never said any of this shit. We don't actually know what happened between her and that guy. We don't know if they ever had a conversation, if he technically ever loved Bonnie, if she never reciprocated. This is just me adding shit to it. So
I got to go ahead, Marcus. Get your question in. We got to move on to the next.
I got a question for Sweeney and Trev. How long would y'all continue to do for a woman and this being unreciprocated?
Oh shit!
If there was,
we said at the same time, my mic was just muted.
The non-XP Trav.
The non-XP Sweeney.
Yeah, the non-XP.
I don't know. I learned that lesson.
I'm gonna tell you. Look, if the non-XP would actually increase what it is that they're doing to try to chase it, right? They would chase it for real. You're like, damn, this ain't working. Let me see what else could I do to get her to love me, right? That's real shit. That's how you behave when you ain't got the XP, right? Mm-hmm. But a seasoned homie with the XP, right? That's like, you know, I'm elite now. I'm like, okay, well, nah, son, fuck is this? I'm not.
So how long? Give me a time. Went 2 years.
Okay, you got to give me a 2 years of what?
You went 2 years.
It ain't gonna be no 2 years, nothing. Nah, 2 years is crazy, bro. You know how much
you went
2 years?
You went 2 years. Who fault would that be?
Both.
All right, let me
Oh, Trev, you gonna do us like that, bro? I'm if you go,
Yo, all right. Whose fault is it not?
bruh. What you mean? Give me a time frame.
Whose fault is it not? You saying it's not both of their faults? Whose fault isn't it?
Are you supposed to communicate what you expect for what you're doing? So if you go to work every day,
Absolutely.
if you go to work every day and they never paid you and you showed up for 2 years,
It's your fault. It's your fault. But guess what? If they didn't pay you, if I worked every day for 2 years, they didn't pay me, can't I sue them and have them at fault
No.
too? Yes, you can.
If they didn't
Yes,
tell you
you
they were
fucking
gonna pay
can.
you,
Stop
you was
playing with
intern.
Yes. If they didn't,
If they
no
didn't tell you-
bullshit.
if you never
Bullshit.
discussed payment, you just was showing up.
So
doing
if I
work.
was getting paid, and then my checks just stop, and they just say, "Oh no, you've
No.
defaulted into an intern,"
No.
that's
No.
absurd. What are we
No,
talking
and-
about, bro? We're talking about a situation that was going on.
You
Stop.
never discussed payment.
We never discussed payment. Remember, you said we didn't
You
communicate.
said if they didn't reciprocate, there's no way, bro. It's both of their faults, because for you to know that somebody's pouring into you and you just say, "Hell no, I don't care about you pouring into me. I'm still going to do nothing." It's not their fault too. Like, come on, bro.
No.
What are we doing? It's both of their
No.
fault.
If fair exchange ain't robbery. If you steady coming and you see somebody and get them $100
That's not
every
a
day,
fair exchange. No reciprocation. A fair
you never
exchange.
communicated what the exchange was that you wanted. So by you not saying nothing and you continuously giving them whatever you giving them, you put yourself in the trick bag, bro. You literally put yourself in the trick bag. If
And
everything,
like I said, which is why I said he's at fault as well.
But we're
for not
assuming
recognizing
that she didn't. We're assuming that she didn't. There's a such thing as somebody breadcrumbing.
Bruiser, you hear this?
But anywho, you did
And it's
ask me a
abuse.
question.
It's abuse.
You get
It's abuse.
moral about it.
So it's abuse if you go to a woman and give her all your money and wait outside her door every day for 2 years and she don't talk to you. She abused you. Get the fuck out of here.
Yes. That's financial abuse, bro. That's financial abuse.
Oh my God.
You didn't discuss the terms.
F boy abuse.
That's crazy, bro. You
So,
know
if somebody did that to your daughter, you wouldn't feel away, like
I would tell her you dumb. Why would you be doing this?
You just say you dumb, and you would be good with what he did.
You ain't gonna say nothing about that person. You ain't gonna say they was anything. You just
Stop
gonna
it.
say she's
No,
dumb.
now we gonna cap.
messing with him.
Now
Why
we
are
gonna
you
cap.
look?
But what are you gonna say about the other person? I get what you're gonna tell your daughter. What are you gonna say about that person?
I thought I taught you better than this. This is very slow. You coming and picking this boy up
No,
and
I
bringing him
get what
food and doing all his homework, and you
Mark,
expected to be his girlfriend and never told him. You are slow, and I raised you better than this. I definitely raised you better.
You would be hurt that my daughter let herself get finessed.
So what do you
Come
say
on
about
now.
the other person? Are you gonna? Who is the other person? What do you say to them?
The other person.
Good job, player. You got my daughter.
Why would I accommodate him?
They did it before.
So if you ain't gonna accommodate him, why not? I mean, he was just playing the game.
What benefit
Why
does
not
it do to
accommodate him? Why
accommodate
not
him?
say, "Hey, look, bro, good shit. You got my daughter. My daughter
No,
was
I'm not
there.
gonna do that, but
Why not? That's the
because
reason
I'm
why.
not happy that he did it. I'm not happy that he did it. But what I'm saying is, my daughter shouldn't allow nobody to just run over her like that nonstop.
Yeah.
If she does that, that's on her.
We
Especially
unhappy
if you tell
about the
him
whole
that-
situation.
Do
Like,
y'all hear the words that y'all using? You saying words like "run over." A person that runs over a motherfucker ain't a good person.
Look,
Yes.
That's what he said.
if you look, Sweeney, if you sitting there rubbing feet, eating merch, you can't get no head back in terms. You doing a 61, no 69, just 61. You just rubbing her feet, massaging her back, going to work every day, giving her all your money, and she is not reciprocating none of that. And you stay in that relationship for 2 years, that's 100% your
Marcus,
bro.
I
You might have thought she was in a female dominatrix.
Why you
Like,
gonna put the daughter in
I
this?
get
man?
what
I'm
you're
a little
saying.
sensitive.
I get what you're saying, but the thing is that we want to talk about him or your daughter, but we never want to have a conversation about the other person. What would we call that person?
What's the word for it? You give me a word. Agree or disagree. I don't know what word you're searching for, but give me a word.
I'm asking you, like, what would you call if your daughter came home and said, "Daddy, I did all this Daddy, I did all this shit for this guy. I've been with him this long, and God, I'm hurt because I don't feel like I'm getting this energy. I'm not getting the same energy from him. I just feel used and abused.
Well, you know what I'm gonna tell that dude?
You gonna tell your daughter she's stupid?
You want to know what
What
I'm
are you
gonna
gonna tell that dude?
I'm gonna walk up to him and I'm gonna say, "Pay my daughter or leave her alone."
Why does he need to pay her?
He's saying reciprocate or leave her alone.
What?
That's essentially what he's saying.
Oh, I'm asking. What? Why does
said
he
pay her?
She's doing it willingly.
Then she's just, I can't say nothing to look. If she's doing it willingly, it's on her.
I already told my daughter not to do it no more.
Right.
Obviously, this guy is not going to continue to do it if he's got to pay her. So he's going to leave her alone.
What if he said no and she said yes?
What if he says no? What if he says no?
Yeah, what if he say no and your daughter still deal with him? Now what?
Oh,
and
then
she
I'm
keep
passing
doing
her
it?
out. Like
gotta pull out his checkbook.
Eve and Adam in the garden.
Can I say
I
something?
doubt it.
That's 100% on her, bro.
doubt it.
Hold
Hold
on.
on, hold on.
Go ahead, Latoya.
Go ahead, Toy.
So I'm just hearing that you all say that, at the point of which you have to tell your daughter not to do it. I'm not hearing anybody saying that this is how they bought their daughter up. This is what they instilled in their daughter. Like for her to even entertain this, I feel like a woman that entertains that didn't have that instilled in her from the beginning. So you got to tackle like before it gets to the point of which you have to tell her whether she to do it or not. Like,
That was the first thing I said to you. Literally was the first thing I said.
okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but she probably, I mean, think about it. A woman that does that, bro, in 2024, well, how many simps is around here, bro? She probably fat or something. I mean, like, what is she challenged? Beautiful. She's beautifully challenged or some shit for her to. No, bro. She's gonna get some benefit out of it if she look halfway decent. So I'm like, bro, that don't even happen on Earth. Like, what world are we living in? Like,
it does. If the female likes you more than the man likes you, then yeah, it happens. It happens.
It happens every day.
You said she not getting. He said she got. Come on.
When y'all was
She
talking
not
about
getting
your
nothing.
daughter,
It happens.
y'all was way nicer
Some of these
when
cats
you
out here
talking
got game, man.
You seen that episode of The Fresh Prince where old girl bought Will a motorcycle and a car and all these other things, and he just was accepting the gifts. I don't know if y'all old enough to remember the episode. If not, never mind.
Bro, how old is you, dog?
41.
Bro, you 41?
Yeah.
Boy, lying like shit.
Hey, we got to transition. You guys just tuning in. Welcome to Lapeef. Let's talk. Make sure we hit that like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Had a few super chats come through. AP Accountability Partner $20 says, "What's up to the panel? Surprise cash app coming to who makes the most valid point on the next topic. Not working for free. No working for free. Salute, brother Marcus, Trev, Sweeney. Nice seeing you again, Ruth, and salute LPFN. Harrison Davis, $5 says, Trev, you can't say that stuff out loud, but salute. I think everybody has contributed to the platform thus far. Again, make sure we hit that like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Kenneth, $10 says, evening family. We got lollipops being licked on the watch. Jay Allen filming a report. I'm filing a report.
I can't get a break.
All right, we're going to move on to our next topic of the night, which is the power of being pretty. The power of being pretty. I'm going to go ahead and play this clip. We'll get into it.
Just understand that you add status to any man that you sit next to, walk next to, talk to in public, okay? Even if you aren't together, even if it's just a friend. Have you ever noticed that if you are attractive, you'll have a lot of friends inviting you out, male friends or even female friends will use you to attract attention. So because you look good or decent, they're going to be, more attracted to you, gravitate towards you, associate you with success, A, B, C, and D, right? So your appearance will get you further than almost anything else.
All right. The power of being pretty. Power of being pretty. I'm going to start with you, Dio. Do you agree with her?
I feel like I'm in the fence because it depends on. I mean, everybody see like their what am I thinking of? Like types different, you know. If you feel somebody that I guess I could be more in agreement, only in the essence of if somebody is aligned or if I'm persuaded to like this is my type, I'm gonna let them, you know, have I guess easier or be a little bit more lighter with them versus somebody that I'm just not like interested. They just not gonna get much. So I can see some truth in it.
Okay. All right, go ahead, Marcus.
Like, is it true that there's power in being pretty? Yeah. Can you ask like a more specific question so I can go somewhere with it? Because I mean, that's at face value, definitely true.
Okay, well, she mentioned about men being able to get opportunities, I guess, having a pretty woman on his arm.
Yeah, you get a whole lot of opportunities. You even get more women. When women see you outside with somebody that's bad, they like, oh, okay, it's something about him. Men will be around you and just assume you have a level of success based off the women you have because they like, well, to get her, you had to have something going on about yourself. It works that way. It just does. And she can open the door because people admire. Like, we have a nice car. I don't know if y'all ever pull up to the front of a restaurant or a bar or a club. The car sitting out front will attract people to you. It's like a magnet. Women operate in that same way. Jewelry operates that same way. It magnetizes people because people love to look at shiny things or something that they deem extremely attractive. And they want to know either how you got it or what it is. And that's for people as well as materials. So it's absolutely real. It's 100% real.
Yeah, it's true, man. It goes both ways, man. If I was, I mean, no homo. If I was going out, me, you, JR, Trev, we'll roll out, bro. Like, we gonna get it. But like, I'm not gonna let Kenneth ride with me. You know what I'm saying? Because if you look at it as a man, you gotta have brothers who look good because that's gonna attract more females. But if you are hanging around a bunch of I'm gonna say it's ugly ninjas.
We're more money than you?
It's gonna hurt. It don't matter. You're gonna have to flaunt. Now you gotta wear labels now.
I
If you
defend the
ugly,
accent.
you gotta wear designer, you gotta wear labels. So I think whenever you're decent looking, you wanna have people like if you going out and you know it's girls there, man, it's a pool party, bro. You know what I'm saying? The girls are wearing bikinis and shit. You probably gonna hold off for the guys that's overweight or obese. Cause everybody gotta have, like, you want your team to be six-packed up, tall. You know what I'm saying? Right? Like, we finna get them all in the same time at the time, bro. Like, you want your team to be strong. It's almost like picking your mind player and you start at 5. You want to go out there hitting on all cylinders. So pretty privilege or power of being pretty works both ways. And I think that women need to embrace that even more because it'll handle a lot of their issues. Like, if you real pretty and fine and got your shit together, we not gonna be mad if it's a couple dirty dishes in the sink or some shit. You know what I'm saying? But if you fat and ugly and shit and them dishes dirty, we cussing your ass out. That's just the game.
We ain't washing dishes no more. Thanks for the game. Thank you. I learned a lot.
All right, go ahead, Ruth.
Wait a second. First of all, I'm about to cuss my husband out because I got some fucking questions about that last one right there. But I don't know who was speaking. I kind of just jumped in here.
You can go.
Okay, you sure? Okay. So I don't know. Mine go both ways. Me personally, I've always felt like I was the ugly friend. It is what it is, whatever. But my daughter, my 13-year-old daughter, right now, she is literally going through what this woman just talked about. This is exactly what she's going through right now. So it's one of those things where it's like, I'm really trying to think about how I want to say this. She has friends that are more like they want to hang out with her because she's pretty, but those same friends, when she's, I don't even know how to explain this to y'all. If you gotta be here to see it.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
What did your hat say?
It says ugly. It says you gotta love yourself. That's what it says.
Oh, okay. I don't think you're ugly. So
no, but that's you gotta love yourself. So I had to learn that. That's just how I used to feel.
okay.
But my daughter, it's a popularity thing. I don't know. To me, I always tell her all the time, like, Delilah, yeah, you're beautiful. Don't get me wrong, but your beauty can only get you so far. Your education is gonna get you further than anything in life. So yeah, because at the end of the day, you're still gonna get old. And
your
then,
friends are just trying to get in the door, right, Samantha? So like, I'm saying like, y'all are just trying to get that first impression. So I think what you were trying to say is the reason why you hang out, and you might have not thought you was the pretty one. You hang out with the pretty ones because that's what's going to attract the men. And if you didn't hang out with the pretty ones, you would leave paying for your own drinks.
Or yeah, you could say that, but it was always no. We could talk about this all night. I think for me, I was too mothering. Like my friends want to entertain niggas. I'm not there to entertain nobody. I got a man at home. If I want to entertain somebody, I would entertain my man at home. But if you're inviting me out to have a good time, I want to go out and have a good time because I need a break from everything else at home. So that's why I said they would invite me after I just had a baby and you're feeling low about yourself. That's what I meant by I felt like I was the ugly friend. If that makes sense. That makes sense?
Hold on. So you go out without wanting to entertain anybody? You don't look for the intention when you go out?
Hell no, because I can entertain my whole man at home. I go out with my friends.
Go out then?
Because I want to get out of my home because my house is so. I'm a mother of 6. Ooh. I don't have to go out and entertain somebody. I'm the type of person where if I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna go for the music. I want to go and actually legit have a good time. I'm not there to see nobody. I'm not there to be like, oh, I'm not even going to pretend like I even like you. So I buy my own drinks because if I wanted somebody to buy my drinks, my man would be here. That's a
I respect it. And 6 kids a lot. I get it. I trust
me.
I get it.
That's a lot. And my husband's just like, hey, take a break, have a break, you know?
6 kids and you going out to drink?
Yeah, well, I don't do it now, but I'm saying like, and if I do decide,
if you don't mind me asking, what do you wear? Do you like dress like a mom or you dress like a MILF?
I definitely I am a MILF. First of all, I'm just not a MILF at home because I am out of my MILFiness right now. I'm always a MILF. Know that.
I'm saying when you dress out at night with alcohol and
I don't dress like a mom. I don't dress like a mom, but I don't dress like somebody that's trying to attract anybody either. I will literally, I'm the type of woman where I'm going to check with my man because if I can't wear it around you, I damn sure don't need to be wearing it out, if that makes sense.
I heard that.
That's the type of woman I am.
She a married woman. I gotta peel off on that one. Good shit.
I mean, married or not, it boils down to respect. How much do you respect your man? If you can't go out with him like this, why are you going to go out dressed like that's just me though. That's just my own personal opinion.
No, that's why you're married. It's not just you. That's why you're married.
The other side.
That too. And we have a lot of kids.
The other side to that is you can still be modest, but dress a certain kind of way around your man. So yeah, you can dress sexy around your man, but not out with everybody else.
Yeah, well, my woman ain't going out there in the streets. No, sir.
I appreciate that perspective.
I don't know how y'all man allow. I'm not going to even do it. If he was on the panel, then maybe I'd dress. But I mean, that's his thing. He let you go out there to the streets. That's what's up.
What are you talking about?
I mean, it's not it's not that he's necessarily letting me go out to the streets. He just understands that, okay, my wife, if she, I don't do it enough. I don't do it like that either way. Let me start there. But if I do decide that I want to get up and go and have a drink, I'm a grown woman. But I'm also gonna respect my man as well. He don't let me go out to the streets because I'm not for the streets. But if I am like I said, I'm a mother of 6. So if I want to get up and do something, he's not gonna say, hey honey, I want you staying at home because you need to be doing this, and this. He's gonna say, you know what, go ahead, babe. Do your thing.
So you do understand drinking is when you drink, your judgment is impaired. You don't believe that maybe you could possibly make the wrong decision out at night drinking like that?
You got a 10 commandments.
I don't know how much you think I'm drinking. I'm not drinking to get shit-faced. Again, I am the mothering person, so I'm not going to get fucked up. I know. I know.
I
I'm
can't
just
see you, Jesus.
The
You ever
last
been,
part.
you ever been
Look,
drunk? You
So
don't
when
even know what it's
no,
like,
yeah,
do
I've been drunk. I've
you?
been
Hmm.
drunk.
Since you'd had kids and married?
No, hell no. Yeah, I get drunk at home if I want to, but I don't drink. I'm saying when I was younger, I would drink. Now, no.
Bruce, I
uh-oh.
got
So dig, so dig, like, hey, Darwin, I agree with you that it does work both ways. Pause. So, but here's where I disagree on, like, you could be effective with even some ugly cats in your squad. They just got to be lions, right? So, and it's all about matchups. If I'm going out, like, we just got to understand the assignment, right? And know what to do, because there's only 3 types of chicks out here. You got one that's completely game, like she's with whatever, she's with the shits. And then you have one that's going to do what the majority does. And then 3, you got the piranha, the one that's like, no, no, no. So I would go ahead and get the piranha. Once you soften up the piranha, the rest is dominoes, right?
You
So
forgot, you
after
forgot the
you,
fourth,
and you,
the one that
Piranha
the one you
sound
got to
bad
take the team
too.
for. Take one for the team.
yeah, but that's the one that's with the whatever, right? She'll do that. And definitely the one that's down, she's with the shits. She will absolutely take one for the team. So as
Exactly.
long as you understand the assignment and you got the matchups, you can get it done. Ugly, not ugly. As long as you ain't all ugly, he at least got to have some fly and some swag to him. You can't be like a total bomb out, right? But listen, let me tell you something about something. Nothing is going to help you more than having a female with you. A female, listen, when I went out and got the is you could bag something with the homies, or you a female with you, especially if she down for the 3B, you taking something out of there. Whether you at the strip club, whether you are at the regular club, whether you at the grocery store, you got a bad jammy with you, you taking something out of there. I'm just trying to tell you that right there is pretty privileged, and there's nothing beating that. Get you a baddie with a little fatty or something like that. She got some crazy shit. Listen, you're gonna do what you want to do. Simple as that. What up, Ali?
What's going on, family? How y'all doing?
What up, man? What you
How
got to
everybody
tell us,
living?
man?
Huh? I don't even know where y'all with the power of being pretty.
Yeah,
Is
what's
that
up?
what we're
Yeah,
talking about?
tell us, Ali.
Um,
Ain't you pretty?
hey Ruth, how you doing? Ain't you pretty? I think the advantage of being pretty, and you can kind of associate it with being a woman as well too, is that you got superpowers when you're younger. Mother Nature is in your favor when you're younger, and Mother Nature is against men when we're younger. We have to build ourselves until Father Time gets to us. Then we have that in our advantage. And when Father Time hit y'all lose y'all superpowers. The point of your superpowers when you're young is that you're supposed to use that to invest in a man. All the advances you get from a man, all the men in your now social media, all the men that give you all the attention, the DMs, you're supposed to use all that investment and superpowers to give it to a man. So when he gets older, he uses his superpowers to take care of you. So you have a huge advantage over men when you're younger compared to us having to build our value. But if you misuse your superpowers, and when you get 40 and you lose all your superpowers and you ain't invested in a man, you use all that leverage with a man. And that's why typically when women get older, they want to be more understanding when they already knew what they were doing when they were younger. But when you get older and start losing those superpowers, you go, you know what, Bruiser or Mr. Darwin, I don't know what you're going by anymore these days. Trev and Marcus, you know what? I understand exactly what you was talking about when I was 25. So if you lose that, you got those superpowers, but if you don't use it right, by the time you get older, you ain't got it anymore.
Let's not say 40. Let's say 55.
I say like 35, actually.
Like
You barely can have babies by then.
Well, some people do.
Yeah, it's geriatric at that point. You
Oh,
on
you
the
think a
threshold.
woman lose her prettiness by
Are they
35?
born or they not born?
She loses her power. She starts losing her powers at about 35. Think
I'm
about
talking
this.
about
You've been watching them balloon popping shows. A
Hell
man get
yeah.
to 30, women at 30, they go, I'm looking for a man, but I don't want no more kids. You got a 30-year-old man that's childless looking for kids, but they're telling this man she don't want no more kids, but the man still want kids. So she gave her best years to some other dude and hoping she can get another dude that'll be better than the last dude, but that was the best dude that she could have got at that time. It's over for her. Where you, Marcus, Trev, y'all have kids and you still get older, your value still gets older, and women see it as attractive when you have kids and you establish you can take care of a child, you can take care of a family. So when they have kids, they lose their value as well too, on top of the prettiness. So it gets worse. It's downhill.
When y'all hit 50, something changes, doesn't it?
If you don't work out.
Men at 50, right?
Yeah, if you don't work out.
What changes?
Yeah, I want to know what changes.
Y'all start changing y'all number on a dating app. I heard. Yeah.
Oh,
It depends on what you look like. Listen, I never lied
Yeah.
about my age to nobody. I don't have to lie.
Well, you ain't 50. Are you 50?
Not yet. I'm
Are
getting
you
there.
above 50? Yeah.
No, not yet.
Wait till you're 55. You're gonna be 50 for 10 years straight.
That's the game.
So you
So
think
there
a
is
40 year
wall.
old
There's a wall for men.
you think a 40-year-old woman is more valuable than a 40-year-old man?
Oh
hell.
I don't need
Y'all
to
go.
confirm nor deny.
I'm asking you.
I'm fine. What would you say?
What's more valuable, a 40-year-old man or a 40-year-old woman?
Well, at 40,
Depend
y'all
on the
still
man and
immature.
depend on the woman.
Y'all still immature at 40. So can we say 45?
5 years? Do
We
5
certainly
years?
can't say 45. We can't
Let me
say
ask you this,
45. Not even
It's very
close.
hard
No.
to find a mature 43-year-old. Can y'all
Man,
answer
we-
that?
We
Hold
still
on, hold on, wait. Everybody pause. She
mature.
just said it's very hard to find a 40-year-old mature
43. Something happened at
43-year-old mature adult.
Yeah.
But you said it's very hard to find a mature 43-year-old. But when Trev was talking about how women out there gaming dudes, you was like, ain't no way possible. I don't know anybody like that, but it's hard to find a 43-year-old adult.
Wait, when you said the women were what? I'm sorry.
When Trev was saying that women out here being predators towards men.
They are. Y'all know I agree with y'all. Come on. I'm just
Oh, you
talking about
did.
the
Oh, you did.
minority.
You
I don't
said
give a rat's butt about the majority. Y'all just be caring about people like me.
But you
Y'all
just-
know this by now. I agree with everything the men say. Can I say something different? Y'all know I agree with y'all.
Oh, come on, Ruth, man. We need you. We don't need you to be a character up here. Be yourself.
I'm not a character. I'm honest. Like I don't be talk. They don't exist to me. Are y'all not greatness? I just think about greatness. I think about the great women, but y'all never want to talk about them. They don't exist. They like unicorns if they black, right? Oh, all right.
Well, nobody said that. We was just
Y'all
talking about a specific
hustle.
individual.
Hustle. You don't know no good women? None?
Yeah, I know plenty of good women.
Okay.
But I also know plenty of good men.
Okay, no.
Poll the panel. Poll the panel. Pass the poll. My answer to that is
we already did this,
Pause.
Marcus. This a couple weeks.
We got a new panel.
Shit, they
Are
do
there
this
any
shit
great
every
women
year.
in your circle?
And oh, that's right. The last time we did this, that lady was not answering that question very honestly. So if you want to pose the question again, Marcus, that'd be cool.
No, she posed it. I think Ruth said, "Do we know what age group?"
Any
43
great women at all? Y'all act like
who?
no good women in the world.
You talking about dateable women,
No,
right?
that's not true. There's just great women in the world.
Dateable, great. I say it's good women and great women that's dateable right now. They're single. I agree. What you think, Trev?
I say yeah, there are some. What I will say is there's not enough, right? We absolutely need more. There are some great virtuous women, right? There are some women who are nurturing, who love to take care of their man. I've ran into some of them, right? Here's the problem though. A lot of times by the time they get to that point, they have given their best years up to
Moving on.
what they consider to be an F
Oh,
word, right?
no.
She don't want to hear that. She don't want to hear that, right?
It was a
You don't
poll,
wanna hear that.
not a paragraph.
Can we have a reading rainbow moment for the women, for the great women, please, and don't mess it up? Go ahead, next person, please.
I'll let y'all keep it going.
Thank you. I'll come back to you, Trev. I promise. I apologize. I
You
really
said what percentage of the women that I know in my life that are good women?
However you want to answer. Do you know any great women? Good women. Jeez.
Well, obviously I know good women.
He's scraping the bottom of the barrel. Nobody good in the world.
I mean, but
Why is this even a question?
I think the thing is that I'm judging the women based from a different perspective, though. I'm not trying to date them.
That's why
So,
she's
like,
dateable or marriageable women that's single right now.
So if I had to guess, I have to go off of what the market is saying. And the market is saying only about 35% of y'all are good. According to what the men out there in the world are saying, roughly about 35%, 35% of the women are good women. Matter of fact, I asked this question on Hank's show a couple weeks ago, and one of the old fellas on there was like, yeah, it's about 30%. And I don't know about you, Ruth.
Poll.
That's a failure as a group.
Okay, but
It was a poll.
y'all are not focused on finding the right person. Y'all just focus
No,
on
no.
all the bad people.
What they want to say is 100% of women are dateable and marriageable.
I
But
didn't
that,
never say that. I said
but that
35.
I'll say 100%. 100% of women are marriageable and dateable, but their behavior determines if they keep the man. So 100% of them are dateable and marriageable. It's on how the woman's maneuvering to keep the man. We valid, no matter what women can say, men validate the woman, just like you'll validate a man depending on what you're looking for. You go, hey, is this good for me or not? If most men don't find women marriageable and valuable to them in the conversations that we're having, then the market does demonstrate that. But I believe 100% of women are marriageable and dateable, but their behaviors determine if they get kept.
What's the question? The question is, do you know any great women? And
Of course, I know great women. The problem is that it does nothing to talk about the great women, because we're talking about the conversation goes to the bad women, correct? If they're
you're
great
not going
women,
to marry the bad women, though. That's my point. Like, if we're talking about relationships, we never talk about good and great women. So how do the men that never experienced that know? Y'all make it sound so bad, like women are horrible, and for the majority they may be. But what about the good women? What does it look like? What does it
why are
sound
we talking
like?
about the good ones if they're good though? Why do we have to talk about how great women are if
Why
they're
do we
good?
talk about good men then? We shouldn't talk about none of y'all. No, nobody here is good, and all the men are bad.
We don't
the
try to talk
majority are bad.
But I'm sure they don't talk about themselves. Bruiser don't talk about themselves. Sweetie don't talk about himself. Marcus and Trev don't talk about themselves. We talk about what's the problem with the data market, correct? They don't make it about themselves.
But see, the thing about it, you got to understand, the woman don't need to be good.
No, they don't.
A good woman is impossible to run into a good woman. She needs to be impressionable. She need to be, her cup need to be not full. Like, her experience need to be limited. You know, she need to be impressionable. And then whatever, because it's subjective to the man. What I find good in a woman is going to be different from Ali. You know what I'm saying? It's all about, can I fill her cup? You know what I'm saying? Is she fillable? If she's not fillable, then she's not worthy of,
But it
the
should be,
next level of
some
relationship.
things should be subjective though. Like a good woman, if she's a good woman, she should be typically a good woman to all of us. When she walks in the room, we go, man, God dang.
So let's go there. What is a good, what can we say as a man on this panel is considered a good woman?
One that doesn't use men.
Fit, cooperative, feminine, those are universal, right? So if let's say she's cooperative, right? She is a person who is considerate, right? There's no man on this earth who would say, or what, less than 1% of men on this earth would say, if she's considerate, feminine, cooperative, right? She's in shape.
Let's talk about the men on the panel. So Sweeney, you a heavy dude. I'm gonna assume that fit is not really a requirement. Now, I'm not listening.
Why are you body shaming me right now?
Definitely body shaming the fuck out of you right now.
You gonna take that? I know you're not about to take that.
This is not. You know what it is? You know what it is? Because they did say, you know what it is? It be the bald head motherfuckers that got the most to say.
Okay, Sweeney, I give you credit on that. I'm okay. Look, take it as no offense. I'm stereotyping. Typically, bigger guys are okay with a little bit more weight. I didn't mean it in an offensive manner.
I know, man. I'm just fucking with you.
I'm saying, like, when we talk about, or we give the details on what makes a good woman, we got to compensate. Let's just look at the men on the panel. Like, let's just use me. I might like bigger women. For you to say she's fit, it don't necessarily.
But what that got to do
with
breaker
or knock her, you know what I'm saying? So I think we really got to be real precise with what we call a good woman to compensate for everybody. If we gonna say it's not subjective, you know what I'm saying?
See, and that's the thing though, is that when we talk, I think a lot of the times when we have conversations about who bad women are, most of the time, especially when us as fellas have this conversation, it's always normally surrounded around her behavior.
Mm-hmm. Y'all be upset.
It's normally always about her behavior. Just like we just had a conversation earlier about old girl that was using that we felt like was using this man for all of this, and she was taking advantage of him. I would consider that a bad woman. I would consider that I'm sure that all of us would consider that a bad bet for any man.
Maybe she's not self-aware. I'm gonna give her the
benefit. You know how you keep giving.
Y'all give the men a benefit of the doubt.
We just gave you a bad woman, and the first thing you tried to do is make her good. You tried to make her good.
I'm trying to be like y'all. They're always good. Y'all,
Why are you trying to be like us?
get two people to
And we
black
do
eye,
gotta,
like, oh, he had a bad day.
we do gotta switch.
Do we try to make Diddy sound like a good person?
Whoa, now.
Did anybody on this panel try to make Diddy sound like a good person?
Here we go to the extremes.
Why it gotta be extreme? That's a conversation we had.
Diddy, like he at the top of the super predator list. That's who you pick.
But I'm just
You like to
asking because
win.
we've picked.
You like to win. I give it to
I'm just saying. You saying you're accusing us of these things, but what example do you have of that?
Before we had the tape, everybody's like, he got money, ain't nothing gonna happen to him. We don't really care what he did. So yeah, for the majority of people, they just gave him a pass. Did they not?
Most people did not give Diddy a pass. I ain't never seen so many silent people as far as disowning this dude in my life. Nobody picked his side except for nobody except for his son. And what the hell is that dude named? The dude that was on Love and Hip Hop. They're the only two people that spoke up in this dude corner and a bunch of internet trolls. Stevie J. Most people was talking mad cash shit about this dude.
We're getting off
I
track.
think I got one thing I can say that can paint women with a broad brush on being a good woman. If she is simply willing to be led, that's it. She can come fat, she can come bald, whatever. If she's willing to be led, although that means she would accept the changes. You get what I'm saying? That means that, okay, if I lead her in a way, or she's willing to learn and apply the things that she learned to make the relationship compatible. You get what I'm saying? And I think they get rid of the fat shame, and they get rid of the body positivity, they get rid of the braids, the weave, all that other stuff. If she's willing to be led, because I think that's the number one issue. Is a woman, you can't lead them. Like, I think everything else we can deal with. As long as I can lead your ass and get you to do the things that's necessary for the best interest of the relationship, we good to go.
All right, that's a mic drop right there. You guys just tune in. Welcome to Lapeef. Let's talk. Hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. A few super chats came through. Hink in the basement, $2 says, while we fucking with Gooch Darwin. AP, $5 says, sis, don't downplay how far beauty will get a woman. Just don't stupid. AP again, be stupid. Team Fatty says Ali Bombay. Hink in the basement, $2 says Roof have that non-pretty internet for sure.
Y'all are bullies. Be nice to me. I'm a lady.
I thank everybody on the platform thus far. Let's go ahead and keep it moving. Moving on to our next topic of the night is what should she do? What should she do? I'm gonna go ahead and play this. We'll get to it.
8 years. I have 3 kids with my husband. My husband is overseas and has been for about 2 years. He comes home 3 times a year. I've been lonely, so I ended up cheating on my husband. Whoa. So for context, I end up meeting this guy at a bar and we have a one-night stand. And it was amazing. So that one-night stand turned into an almost every night stand. Hey! This has been going on for about 2 years. Anyway, I recently started going to his house. Long story short, today I found out that I'm pregnant. Yesterday, I went to his house and I see a wall full of pictures. And y'all, my husband is in the photo.
Oh, damn, I heard this story.
I'm looking at the man in the picture. I start freaking out internally and I go and sit down. She goes back to the wall and she's like, okay, and who's this man? This guy said, oh, that's my brother. He starts telling me that they're really close, but he doesn't see him much because he lives overseas. So I'm like, oh, okay. Do you know if he's married? He said, oh, yeah, he lives with his wife and 2 kids in Germany. Oh! Oh! I'm thinking to myself, his wife and 3 kids are in the United States of America. Oh! He starts showing me pictures of my husband with 2 kids and the children look identical to my sons. I'm just staring at these pictures in disbelief. Mind you, I still haven't told this man I'm pregnant with his child, who is also his brother's child.
I'm about to go ahead and put this on the bed. That story is faker than a $3 bill.
I was gonna say we need to replay that shit.
Yeah, can you replay it? Come on, man. We was gonna try to have fun with it first, though, man. I've heard that story before too, but we was gonna have fun with it, man. Come on, why you just ruin it, Sweeney? What the fuck, bro?
Yeah, man, I ain't about to let us go off.
We ain't such a hater, bro. You were a hater. You were a hater, bro.
I was definitely going to. I was like, wait,
into the movie or some shit.
No, I mean seriously, that story is faker than a $3 bill. I'm not even lying.
Sweeney, you thought you
So are you gonna give your take on it or no?
Hell nah, man. I'm not about to get no take on that fake ass scenario that this chick tried to paint, trying to get likes on Instagram.
Did
it go viral?
Come on.
Yeah, it went viral.
Yeah, it's been
Damn.
that joint been out for a couple of months now, but yeah, it went viral for sure.
That's a question.
There was a lady on TikTok who was reading it out initially. I don't know if it was real or not, but she got big off that joint.
All right, Trevor, go ahead and get your take on it.
Damn that broad. That in a nutshell, for real, like I mean, first off, if she wouldn't have been out here being dirty, she would have never found out none of that nonsense in the first place, right? And I'm not going to dial it back and say that it's not different for men and women cheating. I think he did it real cold. Like that's a savage right there, and I can't respect it either, because when you decide to have an entirely different family, you bugging out here, right? That's not virtuous as a man. You should stop. Like, that's too much. Like, if you're going to do what it do because your wife ain't doing what it do, then, you just go ahead and strap up, or, get a vasectomy or something. Just so, or, you know what I mean? You ain't trying to bring nothing back to the crib. That's the number one rule. The women who do tolerate cheating, they're usually not with the shits as far as you getting any diseases bringing them home, and you can't bring any children home. So, if you're going to do what it do, you just have to at least exclude those two things. But, I'm not going to excuse women on any part at all. That's just not understandable. It's not cool, and it's a no-go for me. That's how I feel. I don't care how anybody thinks. That's how I feel. It's a dead, and she should have never did that. And she was like, man, the dude out, and as far as she knew, the dude wasn't doing anything, and then she just going ahead and then try to have a nice stand, which is disrespect, and you'd be disqualified immediately in milk, right? That was a termination of a marriage, regardless of what I'm doing. And to go ahead and then make it a continuous fling is a whole nother situation. She really liked the dude, so that's out. And my main point is she had to really, really have an emotional attachment to the dude to go ahead and smash with him anyway. And any woman who has sex with men who they don't have an emotional attachment to is a whole nother type of woman who I wouldn't want to be involved with anyway. Y'all got some faces on you right now, so I'm gonna let y'all go.
I would say,
hey, you ain't got to like it, brother.
I'm a single dude and I'm just looking for recreational use. I most definitely want the one who don't want emotional attachment, that can just take a little change and head out.
We're in the locker room. I should leave.
Hey, Latoya, you there? Hold on. Latoya.
I'm here.
Okay, yeah. So you put something in the chat. What are your thoughts about it?
Oh, I was just saying God works in mysterious ways as it relates to how she found all of that out in the midst of her doing her dirt. And yeah, it was just like karma came back instantly.
I got a question. Let's assume this is we gonna take it at face value and assume that this is true, just so we can play around with the story. Who loses?
Sweeney, you forfeit.
I think you need to play that video again, man, if we gonna take it serious.
No, the bullet points is that she was overseas because he was working overseas. Mm-hmm. She got lonely, decided to start sleeping around, had a one night stand with this guy that turned into a forever night stand. She found out that her husband was cheating on her because through her brother by seeing his pictures on the wall. That's pretty much the gist of it.
He got a whole nother wife. You got to say he got a whole nother wife.
He had a whole nother wife in another country.
So basically, she slept with a man that was married.
We don't know that.
No.
What? No,
I'm confused too. No. Hold on. Let's Ziada with the listening. She was dealing with a guy. She was lonely and started dealing with a guy, another man, right? And then she kept dealing with him. She got emotional attachment with him. This man ended up being her husband's brother. They don't talk that much. So this man ended up being her husband's brother. But then the man
cheated on her husband with his brother.
But yeah, she saw her husband in the pictures and she asked him who he was. Oh, the brother said, "This is my brother. And he has a wife and 2 kids in Germany, but she has a husband and 3 kids. So there's a wife. He's married to her brother, to his brother with 3 kids, but he has a whole nother wife in Germany with 2 other kids that look identical to her kids.
Oh shit! So she found out her
Husband
husband
is
had an
married.
extended
cheating on
family
Yeah.
through
Yeah.
her cheating.
Yes.
Yeah. Like, with him being overseas,
Exactly.
apparently he got another family.
Would I sound bitter?
Actually, I think that probably would happen though, especially if you're a military guy. Shit, I can't
Ain't
tell
happen
you how
in
many
my
times
family.
I've been deployed.
I hope. I said that ain't happened in my family. I hope.
I ain't having my family. I'm just saying I done been with some brothers and dude, I got that bitch pregnant.
Pause.
I know I did. I'm like, man, well, you better be glad we ain't got to go back to this country.
So to ask who loses? And don't say nothing like, oh, the children lose. I mean, like,
I was about to say
everyone
don't
loses.
say nothing like that.
Everyone loses, bro.
Not technically.
And if not, who wins?
Not technically. They both took for let's assess it first. They both seem like they sorry, right? One's doing their own thing, the other one doing their own thing. They're supposed to be committing to a monogamous relationship. So both of them probably seem like they sorry, right? But she's been fine, she's just been bored. Whatever this man's doing over there, he's been taking care of her family. She was just bored. It didn't say she didn't love her husband anymore, but then she got
the husband loses, man. Your brother just smashed your wife, nigga. That's the L.
She only had one baby and he had two. So
it don't matter.
You know, I am very interested on what the divorce proceeding is gonna look like.
Yo, brother,
How she gonna explain to the judge how she found out her husband was cheating?
Because I was cheating. And I had a baby.
I'm gonna tell you like this. I don't know how his brother don't know what his wife looked like. I mean, the brother don't know what his brother's wife and kids look like.
And that's why the story's fake.
That's what I was thinking.
No. He does know what he look like. It's the other family overseas. He don't know what the family looks like stateside.
But that's what I'm saying, and that's why the story's fake.
So I think in this situation, nobody leaves. Everybody just say, "Hey, fuck it."
Sweetie, stop trying to kill it because you the main one that always come up here talking about a scenario. So let me get this scenario out here, and then you ask everybody a question based on a damn scenario. Now you want to dead this shit, and it's just another scenario, bro. What we doing? Come on, man.
Trev, I feel attacked right now, man.
Still the brother do lose,
You got
man.
two.
If he ever,
you ever heard something so unbelievable? Like, because the thing is, this is what my grief with it is. Because me and my wife was reading this, like we was watching the lady TikTok, and like she just kept adding more and more layers to it. It was just like,
talking about the Reese's. Talking about the Reese's girl.
It can't make sense because the brother said they don't.
It was
talk that
engagement.
much. So it's no way that brother didn't meet the other brother's family.
Exactly. It just don't make sense.
Yeah, it's no way. But we still was trying to break down whether it was real or not. Still to break it down, just have fun with it. You know.
Yeah, I know, man. I heard the story too many times, man. I got my own grief with the story right now. I apologize, panel.
It depends on the age of the kids too. But I mean, if the kids are younger, I still play it off like it is. But if the kids are older, she might as well move on with this new. We'll move on with the brother and let that man just stay married to the other woman. Like,
I think if my wife that my brother don't know about is going overseas to a place where he's located at, and I know his taste, obviously, I'm gonna be like, bro, I haven't told you this, but my other wife is coming to your area. Don't knock her down.
The problem is we don't know if he loved her though. I didn't hear the context of whether the brother loved her and he was just busting down.
Probably just busting down, bro.
He might probably just be busting down because I'm sure he know her situation. That's the part. Another context, I don't know if he knew her situation.
Oh, hey,
I'm
married.
if you know her situation. He probably just busting down.
Hey, look, I think Marcus trying to get in there. Go ahead, Marcus. Not yet. Okay. D.
This is
Anybody?
like is this polygamy?
Man, this was a baby mama that thought she
Move on, man, because Sweeney just killed it, man.
Yeah, Sweeney, come on, Sweeney. It's supposed to be a scenario.
Yeah,
she needed to keep it high.
Stuff might be fake, man. I think a lot of stuff just people be making up.
Yeah, we can't do that no more, Sweeney. We can't say it's fake no more.
Yeah.
Nope.
That shit was fake as all get out, man. Y'all didn't hear the rest of the story. It got more convoluted the more she spoke, bro. It just got ridiculous.
We can't ruin it for everybody, man. We like big kids up here, man. We just ruining shit for everybody.
Yeah.
Your
It's
kids
like you
believe in
just told
Santa
us it
Claus,
wasn't no
Sweeney?
Easter bunny, bro.
Yeah, Sweeney. You tell your kids about the Easter Bunny and Santa Claus?
You tell that shit fake?
Did I?
You probably didn't if you got to think about it.
Nah, they just stopped believing at some point.
I mean, didn't you say you do Santa Claus periodically at the malls every year?
Oh, here we go
He
with the
calling you
joke.
fat again. Dang.
Here we go with the joke.
Damn, Darwin going hard with the fat shaming today, bro. God damn.
It ain't got nothing to do with fat. It's the fact that he got
Santa
a
Claus
beard.
ain't fat as hell, bro. That's the one qualification. He ain't white. He ain't got no gray hair. The only thing he got in common with Santa is
man.
Oh
he
wait,
ain't
never
fat.
mind.
He
I don't
big
want to.
bone.
I don't want to join in on it. But
If you guys just send me the people that talk, make sure that like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and get your shirt, man. The link is pinned to the top. Let's get to the main topic, which is what if after you get married, you find someone better. Let me play this clip.
After we get married, I find someone better. Yeah, it was horrifying. All the women are gasping right now. And the interesting thing was she goes, is that it? And I was like, wow, okay, what kind of woman are you? Yeah. And she goes, I know, right. That is not the response of most women, I'm sure. Like slap, right? She said, of course that's going to happen. And I was like, what? She goes, Mike, as we get older, there'll be prettier, younger women. What you have to decide if you want to be with one person for the rest of your life, you have to choose your choice. And she's like, you have to wake up every single day and choose me. And then you have to wake up the next day and choose me. She said, Mike, this is not just for marriage, but this is for anything great that you're ever going to do in your life. If you're going to endure and persevere and do big things in life, you have to choose your choice.
I'm glad he said endure.
All right, go ahead, Marcus. Go ahead, kick it off, man.
I agree.
All right. Why do you agree?
He made a good point.
What point did he make?
The story's fake, man. The dude fake, man. The panel fake.
Oh, God. They ain't get their paycheck on time. See, you got them working for free. That's what it is. They on strike.
All right, go ahead, Ruth.
Absolutely. You have to choose that person every day. And when you made a covenant and you promised God that you was going to pick that person no matter what, good times, bad times, that's what you signed up for. So even if it's not working out, you got to figure out a way to make it work. But people act like they get complacent and they act like they have to be here, or they get entitled, or you have to be here, or you're never going nowhere. I don't know why people think that people never going nowhere. I don't care if that's the sweetest person in the world. They got their day where they're going to be like, yeah, I'm good. You know, if you choose to treat people well, you choose to show up, you choose to love, you choose to give it your max, or if you don't see a payoff right away, you know, and halfway do it. So every day is a choice. And then when you stop choosing, when you stop being intentional, it starts to fall apart. So yeah, there are going to be better. Women. I don't know why I don't think women don't see better out there as well, but we are smart enough to know that the grass is not greener on the other side when you're a wise woman. So you just stay. That's what you say, Trev. But anyway, you look scared. But yeah, there's going to be a man with more money, right? There's going to be a man that has bigger muscles. There's going to be a man that has better game. There's going to be a man that has better outfits. He treats you better, you know, potentially, but will he, you know, respect you as much as the one that you have? Will he, you know, be there for you on your down days? You can't say. So you just got to stay with that person that you click with, and you know, like when you don't have somebody that you rock with and like y'all really relate, then you can say, all right, it don't matter. But once you find that person, you got to keep remembering what that feeling was like when y'all first found each other and y'all felt like y'all were soulmates, and then just keep choosing that feeling over and over again.
Is it wrong
Ruth.
to assume? Is it wrong to assume that because he said when he get married he find someone better? That is it wrong to assume that he was looking for someone better?
People just plop in your lap. You just
So he
gonna
wouldn't
like.
necessarily find him. It's just
I mean,
okay.
not plop in your lap. Pause. Right.
So it is
But
wrong for me to assume that he didn't go out looking for somebody better.
people most likely cheat with somebody at work. So you can go to work and see somebody and have conversations. You didn't mean to get into a deep personal conversation, but things happen. And so that's how a lot of people cheat, because other people are around. You can't just send your woman out in the world and be like, every man, has to be blinded or something, can't see her. They gonna
But I get the wife's response to him saying that you get older, it's gonna be prettier looking women. But I don't think he said that he finds somebody or he runs into somebody who looks better. He said he finds someone better. Like as if I've vetted you long enough to know that you're a better fit than my wife, who put in all these years with me. You get what I'm saying?
If that's a better fit, then he didn't choose the wrong wife.
But see, what I try to do is I try to flip it. How would that feel? Like, fellas, how would that feel if a woman said, after I marry a man, I find a better man?
Well, I could answer that. Here's the problem. Ruth, you started off really shaky, but you did make a great point toward the end. What you said was, will that man love you the same way? Will he respect you the same way? And the answer is absolutely freaking not. And I'll tell you why, right? As your value goes down, you qualify for less. And we've discussed it a little earlier in the panel. Men's value typically raises up until much higher than women. So men do run into women that they would consider to be better, right? By every metric, they will be younger, they will be better looking, they will be more in shape, they will be more cooperative, different things, a lot of different things. You're going to run into those. But the difference is the men actually qualifies to obtain that woman long term and have him love, admire, and respect his ass. That's the difference. Whereas women won't be able to maintain those men. They'll be able to obtain, but they can't retain. It'll be a flyby type situation in most cases. That's most cases, because your value goes down. You may not qualify for a better man. Whatever you try to bag, it behooves you to go ahead and grab. You would do between 23, 25, something like that. You don't want to wait until later, because as you age, it's not like fine wine. It's more like milk. So it's not the same as a man who is going to be a little bit better off as he gets older. Me personally, I'll just say this. I can absolutely get different women. If you want to say better is subjective, but can I get younger women? Abso-freaking-lutely. Can I get women who
cleaning that up?
Well, cleaning what up?
You said
pause.
You find better women. I think you listed cooperative in there. I don't think
you can find one.
Whenever you run into a better younger woman, she looks better. I don't think we can say that she's cooperative until we actually put her in a position to where she had to cooperate.
It depends on what your relationship is with her, right? You can tell a woman's demeanor pretty quickly. At least I can. Maybe you can't, but I can, right? So you could meet a woman and within a few moments, days, whatever, you might work with a chick or whatever. It might be at work and you'd be like, damn, this is what it is. This chick all feminine, this chick all soft, this chick all cooperative, this chick all considerate. You can tell these attributes about a person damn near right away, or you should be able to, unless you lack discernment. So you'll know right away.
Haven't we said?
But you may not have qualified for that when you were in your 20s. If you bagged a chick in your 20s, you probably would not have been the man that you are. You probably have your XP, which we talked about. You may have got more discipline. You may have got your weight up as far as the money, and you're going to qualify for different women. You're going to attract a lot more women as you get older. So yes, you will run into women who might be subjectively better or better by a lot of metrics, even could be objectively.
You using the cooperative, you using the fact that you're able to figure out if she's cooperative by painting a scenario as it's a work employee type or just, but haven't we stated that when women treat their bosses a little different than they treat the
No, you might be co-workers. You might be co-workers. You might be co-workers. She might be your superior.
But I mean, there's a workplace environment. There's safe workplace. Like I would argue that all of us treat our coworkers.
And that was only one scenario that I gave, and you harping on that for whatever reason.
I mean, that's the
but
one
there's plenty of situations you're going to run into females, right? You're going to run into females in a lot of different situations.
I'm saying based off the list you gave, I'm not sold that because she looked better, she's younger, that she's a better fit from the woman that's been with you holding it down for so long.
Grass is not
And
greener.
I don't think that using
Well,
the
well, that's
the
great.
fact
That's
that
great,
you
but it depends on what you ended up with in the first place, right? Maybe you didn't make a good pick, or maybe you didn't qualify for
on you.
as good as a pick as you would have now, as you've developed as a man. Is what I'm saying. So
so you be
yes, you would
taking
have
risk
opportunities.
because you said it yourself. A
No,
lot of women are on their best
y'all
representatives,
both
right?
y'all both right though. All he's saying is options are different when he gets older. What you saying is that someone should love you for who you are versus your value. But y'all both saying right. It's like y'all arguing two separate points and makes it seem like y'all on two
No, what I'm
different
saying is I'm arguing the side as finding a better woman. Like I don't think that's a possible unless you vet this woman out and actually date her intentionally.
Is that impossible?
Deem
Is
her
that
a better woman than
impossible
the
to?
one
Is
you
that
dated for
impossible
10
to do while you? Is that impossible to do while you married or no?
That's a good point.
Morally,
It's
no,
not
but is it impossible?
No, it's not. You can actually do that, but then that would be an affair.
Yes, it would.
So my point that I stated earlier, is it wrong to assume that whenever he states that every time you get married, he finds somebody better? Is it wrong to assume that he was looking for another woman?
No.
Because I personally feel like if you're not intentionally looking for a woman to compare your wife to that you have, to deem her a better person, and you will never know whether this woman that you're running into is a better person.
I agree.
I never argued that. I never argued that. But maybe what he feels he
Hold on.
has might
Say
not
that
be a
one-
good fit for him in the first
Say that
place.
one more time. Say that one more time. What you said?
I said if you're not actually looking for a better woman, then it's going to be difficult for you to know whether that every time you get married, you find a better woman that can replace the woman that's been holding it down for you for years. You get what I'm saying?
If that's what she was doing, but what if she wasn't?
Yeah.
What if she wasn't holding it down?
What if she
right? What if
was?
she was holding it down?
And if she
What if
wasn't, but that's
she
a
was-
good point.
What if
That's
she
a
was
good
mad?
argument. If she
Yeah,
wasn't,
and I think what
holding it down,
what if she wasn't? Yeah,
If
or
she
what if
wasn't,
she
it's easier to find a
she
better
showed you
woman.
her representative, and then you marry her, and then she's trying to stop. The Gawk 3000 is gone, right? And then maybe she's just lazy, or maybe she don't do nothing.
It's sort of like what Ruth said. Whenever things don't work out, you got to try to figure out how to make it work. So then if you would just tap out on her and go try to find the one that's younger and prettier, then you would be repeating the cycle. She may also be on her best representative. So you would literally have to intentionally be looking for a better woman to know that this woman can replace the one you already have. And there's
also
risk. I think there's risk. I agree with you that. But I don't think a
There's
better
always
woman is
risk.
just always there.
But let's just say somebody watches your content, right? They watch your content and they've learned a lot of things, and maybe you put brothers on game to say, hey, look, this is how you can discern a good woman from maybe not such a good woman. And he's like, damn, Darman, this guy know what the hell he talking about. I probably should have looked at that. And then maybe he go look at that. And then he like, well, damn, this what Dharma said. And he was damn right about that. Now I kind of have a much better idea of what I would have been more compatible with as a man. And then he is able to find that. Now, what you got?
You are you selling a course, a red pill course this weekend? Is it coming out this weekend? Because what is going on tonight, Trav? Like, come on. You was reasonable on King Talk, but tonight you put a red pill in that brown drink.
I didn't put a red pill. Look, how was this red pill? Like,
Yeah, you gotta hear what he's
talking about a scenario.
Red pill in that brown drink. Yes, women age like milk. Blah blah blah. But you got mad when I said a man can have more money, bigger muscles, better game, a bigger D. Like,
I didn't get mad.
now
I didn't get mad.
I'm starting off shaky.
You did because what I was saying is in real life,
you don't want to think
you wouldn't
that
be able to
somebody's
get
better
that
than you.
man.
It goes the other way is what I'm saying. It could go the other way. You can find a better person after you pick the wrong man, that you married the wrong man. You can find a better man. That's possible.
All right.
If you're a better woman.
Yes, you are absolutely right. It is possible, but us as men, we dwell in the realm of probability, right? And the probability of you getting a better man as you age is low.
Well, it happens.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and go to D. What you got on the D?
Pause.
Yeah, come on, JR.
When you talk about just compatibility, people grow every day, and even just being in relationships, you're growing as individuals. So who you are today is not who you was yesterday. And then even just personal goals and just growth, I don't think a lot of time is intentional for somebody to be looking for someone that's better. But sometimes it's just through life and different connections and what, just even like with networking and different stuff. You see with your eyes, you feel what you feel, and it's just a different path of life. For me, like I'm a very goal planner. I like to align myself, but am I with somebody that also has that purpose? Like, what do they aspire? How am I even pushing them? And I think a lot of times, even when people are in transition, they even want somebody that's already established. They want to hook. They want to connect to that versus somebody that's in that building stage. So if you were to connect with somebody that's in that building stage, you have this like foundation of everything. Years later, we're getting older. I'm getting older. You, as my man, would you still look at me as somebody that's as beautiful as from the first day you saw me? Probably not. There's going to be noticeable changes. But just having that in depth, just whatever that we have already said with that triumph anything as we continue on with this journey of life. Now, I can't say that there's a guarantee, but if I'm just somebody that's like, you know what, I'm young, I just want somebody that has what I want. But yet, it's going to be easier for them to look into just have a lot of available options. So even with, I know we've discussed about this on another podcast before, which is you see the NFL draft, people are looking at all these, men with these white women and stuff, but these are men that are in transition. Is either you can hook to somebody while they're in the progress of going up and being that chosen one per se, but even just, I don't know, I have friends, they want to be a wife. That's the only thing they talk about. They want to be a wife. But what are the qualities that you carry to even? And I tell my person, like, look, if I'm not pushing you to grow, if I'm not contributing to your life in a way, and I'm not speaking about materialistic, you have no right to me and I have no right to you, because I don't want to be remaining the same. I don't want to be, but I also understand that change happens. Your mindset, you are influenced about a lot of different things. So but no, that's just my take with it. But it's a lot of different things. So with me, I just want to more so connect on a very just spiritual growth path of life versus like, I want somebody that's, you hear about these high value men, it's, but what are the characteristics? What are the qualities that if a woman is saying she want a high value man, what is the definition for you to even to qualify to have one, and vice versa with a man? If you want a woman of a certain value, and you're speaking about good women and just what carries today. Their men, they'll be like, man, I'm surprised, like you are single, you have X, Y, and Z qualities. But if I'm not chosen for you, if I'm not something that somebody wants, I don't have that expectation to be, or that letdown to be like, damn. So it's just that for me, it's just something that you have to know what's within you. But then once you're locked in with that person, change is gonna happen. And then even back to the beginning of one of the first topics, she's talking about all of this stuff. I mean, we don't know, his side of the story, her side really in depth. But if you are not in tune with your person, if you're not pouring, if it's not an energy, and it's never gonna be, the same every single day. But I'll go ahead and digress.
Y'all lose your hairline, that's for sure.
Go ahead, Ali.
I this is the part I think, like, where I think it's easier for men to see who truly loved them when they were younger, and it's easier for women to see who really loved them when they were older as well too. When I was talking about the superpowers, because our society's based our attraction to each other and our commitment to each other verse on a lot of superficial and surface level things. So I think a lot of people just don't know what love is, and the fact that we're looking for someone better instead of looking for someone that's a forever or someone that's permanent, based on, I guess, some of the things D was talking about. D was saying some informative things, but I think the quality of the person is what a lot of people are missing. So if we're aspiring to be with people versus, basing them off superficial and materialistic things and what they bring to the table and what their value is on a surface level, most relationships are never going to work. And I think that's why a lot of relationships fail now today. People aren't truly loving each other for each other's survival, and for the quality of who the person is, because I can't see the fact that relationships can die. It means somebody isn't loyal, and it takes two people too. If one person's bringing their best to the table and the other person don't even know what that is, it's inevitable for that relationship to fail. So if two people truly love each other, I can't even see how someone would say you have to endure or this, or you have to struggle and it's going to be hard when people truly love each other. And I can compare it to my parents. There'd be times where we disagree, or even my son. There may be times I may be upset with something, but my love will continue to grow. You know, it will continuously grow. I never find it hard to love them. So I think a lot of people, when they connect to today, they don't know what even love is. So I think it's going to be very difficult for someone to find someone better in today's day and time. But if you're trying to look for something better, I would hope it's a better quality person versus what they have.
Ali, you think that some relationships are, I get it. I don't think all relationships are supposed to succeed. I get it. Marriage, you know, you're supposed to stay in marriage and stuff, but I think some relationships are supposed to just run its course. So, like, for example, if you know that the woman you in a relationship with, she got with you, she's cohabitating with you because of the lifestyle you can provide, but you know in 2027 that you're not going to be able to work anymore. Isn't it safe to say that your relationship is going to expire in 2027? And it rightfully should.
Yeah, but I don't look at relationships like that. I don't think that's.
I get it. I
don't think they're supposed to fail.
I get it. You don't look at it like that, but if that's what the relationship was built on, then it's safe to say that the relationship has an expiration date. Like for me personally, I'm a married man. I love my wife, and I didn't marry her for like any transaction or thing. But I can understand that some relationships are built on transactions, so to speak. So if you be with a woman and you're providing a lifestyle, and you can no longer provide that lifestyle, you should expect that relationship to expire.
Yeah, you be making what I'm saying. Yeah, that's my point.
So I wouldn't say that relationship. I wouldn't say it was a failed relationship. I would say it was a successful relationship. It's just had a beginning and an end.
No, it's still a failed relationship. What you had with your mother and father is supposed to be longevity. When you meet another person, they're supposed to replace what you had with your mother and father, and that's supposed to be longevity as well too. The culture and society we live in now lets everyone find a reason to leave instead of find a reason to stay. You can find the same thing you have with one person with the next person. All people are doing is going to the next person, reliving the same thing over and over again to find a reason to leave instead of find a reason to stay. And it's just the base. It's the basis of what our society and culture has been built off of. But in the East, and even my friends that I have Arab friends, Indian friends, who bring their wives, get their wives from their countries, and they stay married. The divorce rate is very low versus our divorce rate here because of why we marrying. You know, people are still looking up. People look for superficial reasons. People become so-called high value, and they're looking for the wrong things in each other for what they didn't have when they were younger. And the relationship, like you said, is going to expire. It's not built on nothing solid. It's not built on nothing with purpose. It's not built on love.
I agree with you. I agree with you that we should marry each other because we love each other. But I understand that a lot of people are not doing that. You know what I'm saying? They're marrying because a lot of people are getting in relationships for economic reasons. And I don't see nothing wrong with it because a lot of people are economically challenged. So when they do choose their partner, they choose it based off of economics.
I
wouldn't be mad if, or let's say a man gets in a relationship. I'm not going to even go as far as marriage because that might be a little bit more sensitive. I would say if a man and a woman got into a relationship because he's able to provide, because she looks at him as a provider, but at some point he's no longer able to provide for her. What do you expect her to do?
Well, to Ruth's point she made earlier, all of us are gonna get old and dusty, right? And we ain't gonna be able to use certain things a certain type of way, right? So you would want the person that's next to you, someone you genuinely love. And one thing I don't know if y'all thinking about a lot, which I think y'all might think about a lot, but don't dwell on too much, is we gonna die. And the fact that people are wasting all their time still trying to get the next dollar, still trying to be a thousandaire, a millionaire, or get the biggest car, the nicest car, instead of connecting with the best person they can in their life and spend the rest of their life with them, is wild to me because we gonna die. You know what I'm saying? We go, and you don't know. And the scary part of it is you don't know how you gonna die. But the money ain't coming, the car ain't coming, the house ain't coming. The best thing you can do with this one life you have that we think or know is this one life is the person next to you is someone you really love and can spend the rest of your life with. That's the best thing you can do. All the other stuff won't matter, man. And that's why a lot of people are miserable. What's wild is when I was working in my field, or things I've been going through, or things I went through the last year, I've never seen such little people visit someone in the hospital. When I went to the hospital with the situation that I had with my mother, when I was going past the hospital rooms, there was nobody with these people. I've never seen nothing like that in my life. When I was younger, when I would go to like the hospital, I would see people in the rooms with their family. Well, this generation gonna be the first generation that doesn't want to have kids, will have probably maybe no kids, a few kids they're not even connected to, that someone's not even gonna be there to bury you. You know what I'm saying? I got to see my uncle had family to watch them get buried, my aunts get buried, grandparents. This is gonna be the first generation moving forward where people gonna start being buried alone and go to the grave alone. And it's a sad thing, you know.
But I mean, I get it. There's some things that we expected a woman to do the entire marriage, like nurture, be feminine, cooperative, cook, clean, do all this, whatever traditional duties. The moment she stopped doing that shit, we probably gonna divorce her, right?
Most likely. Most likely.
So most likely. I'm glad you said it. So then on the flip side, there's things that women expect a man to do, typically provider, protector. So the moment a man is not providing a protector, do we expect her to do the same?
Do we expect her to do what? Stay with the man?
Divorces.
If he's not fulfilling his responsibilities?
No, I mean, you answered it clearly.
If men and women, so you're talking about two different subjects versus the reason that I don't know why you just went left like that. But hold on, let me answer.
It's the same subject. It's just the value we find in women versus the value women find in us.
No, because we were
no
talking
longer
about
have it and they no longer have it. Is it an even reason for is the divorce justified evenly for both?
If two people are not fulfilling their responsibility, their core responsibilities to each other, most likely that relationship isn't going to last. Yes, right. I agree with you.
And that's the point I was just trying to make.
Yeah, but that's why I said
I think
go ahead, Trev.
I think it's a big difference. I think it's a big difference if someone won't versus they can't, right? Let's just say like your wife, she has a severe medical condition that impairs her body. That's fine. Like only a cold-hearted savage, right? A real bastard would leave their wife if she can't fulfill her marital duties, right? Me personally, no, I don't do it. I don't think anybody in the panel who would be married would say that you should leave your wife in that situation. If you're and if the man, he's crippled or whatever, he can't provide the same as he could. Maybe he'll get disability, but ain't going to hit like whatever he was doing before. So now versus you won't. Right? Just because you don't like it, you don't feel like doing something is a different ball game. Then hell yeah, you get your ass left. So I think it's a big difference, right? So we'd have to understand if a person can't versus won't, because that would ultimately be the deciding factor. Because if someone is just not willing to do shit that I'm used to getting, those type of services, whatever it is, man or woman, and then you won't provide it because you're not willing, the hell with you. But if you can't because you had some unforeseen circumstances, then it is what it is, and you just got to ride that out. It's
2024. What do you think the reality is? The reality is if we get crippled or we can't work, we can't count on our wives to stay with us. I think that's the reality. And it's the same thing with a woman.
Depending on what kind of wife you got.
Generation where we
depending on what kind of wife you got.
I got
you think your wife would do that?
I think it's just the Western culture. I think the women over here they're just so cutthroat and look, if you ain't providing this, I don't give a damn if your legs break and you can't work. I'm going to go find me another man. It's scary. It's sad, but I think that's the reality.
Yep. Do y'all know the definition of marriage is like till death do you part? Not until you stop doing the Gawk 3000, not if you can provide all of that stuff. Like men are going to retire, women are going to expire, like y'all like to say, men are going to expire too. Like y'all supposed to grow old together. Like we just forget about the definition of marriage. You're supposed to stick with that person. Period.
I don't think. I think for the most
that makes sense, but you forget about all the other vows you made prior to that.
Them out the conversation, like you have to hold firm to something. Like if the men are not holding firm to this, like how can the women grasp this concept? You're supposed to stick with them till death. Like that's.
I think men understand that what you're saying. I think for the most part, the ones who initiate 70% of the divorces are the ones who don't.
Y'all just
appreciate
said
that and actually not.
if somebody's not giving you oral pleasure, that you would divorce her. Y'all said that. Did y'all not?
What?
Who said that
said-
alone? It was
Trev,
a
you
joke.
said
I wasn't. Y'all said that. All y'all said it. Not
Who
all
said it?
y'all.
Who said it?
But Trev said
I
it.
didn't say that, bro.
Y'all said that. Y'all was like,
Well, look,
But, I mean-
you're acting like they just made one vow. It's not one vow. You made a bunch of vows, right? And all those other vows, you were not honoring those in the first place. If you just say I'm not going to,
you're leaving.
I never said that. I didn't say that. When did I say that?
You didn't
I
say
said
that?
men will run into those opportunities and can. I never said I would. No.
The fact that you
Or
dwell on
somebody
them,
did
you
that
got
already.
all these details. It's like, dang, you might as well have done it because it's like we're not focusing on. No, for real. It's like,
Damn.
I'm
You
the
want to put that
man,
on me?
and I can get a younger chick. Good job, congratulations. But like, you're married. Like, stick to what is the marriage. Like, stick to what the principles are. I'm married. I'm staying with my wife. I'm a wife. I'm staying with my husband till death do you part. Like,
But you
everybody
gotta
keeps it's like you're being
hold on,
weak.
Roof. Hold on, Roof. You gotta be real too, right? I mean, we're gonna have real conversations. I'm pretty sure that there are plenty of people that's married that have thoughts in their head, and those thoughts may not come out. So when we on these panels, I think one of the realest things we can do is just be transparent about what really goes on. But it stems from something, right? I mean, even when you think about like a man or a woman not fulfilling their duties, it's a reason why they're not doing it. It didn't just happen all of a sudden. There's probably some buildup that was happening, and nobody was communicating, and they just decided to just go their separate ways, and then eventually they just started living as roommates, and they said, it's a divorce. I mean, men are stuck around even though they miserable, like they're still hanging there, and then the woman just go ahead and she just decides to foul. But these things do occur, so I think some of the solutions we really got to start focusing on is like how are we getting there, like how can we prevent these things, because if for whatever reason you're not happy, then by human nature the mind is going to wander. Now if you are fully vested like in that marriage, then you're more likely not going to have like a wandering mind. But it's still going to be pretty difficult because we do have eyes, and you may look, you may not think, but it happens. And I think one of the realest things you can really just say is that shit happened. I'm pretty sure it happened. You might not admit to us, but I'm pretty sure some guy, it could have been a guy came on the panel, and you I ain't gonna say nothing, but yeah.
Wait, what? I don't want nobody here.
No, I'm not saying. I'm not talking about today in particular. I'm
Y'all
just
already
saying.
getting me in trouble. Listen,
Well, I was just looking at. I was
y'all not getting me in trouble. I'm happy home.
somebody was in the chat giving you compliments, and I seen you getting butterflies, and I seen
I
you
don't get
feeling
butterflies.
friendly.
I'm friendly. I'm fit,
Something was
feminine, and
going
friendly.
on.
And I'm getting in trouble for it.
Something was going on. You was blushing a little hard. That may. So your
Listen,
mind.
I don't take it to the head. It happens all the
Okay.
time.
Let me go ahead and get back to the topic. One of the other things too is I don't think people are really focusing and realizing is that we are getting old. If you're about 40 or near 40, if you really think about when people falling off, they falling off in their 60, they falling off in their 50s, they falling off in their 70s. So we really ain't got that much time. So if you're 40, you probably got about 25, 30 years. I mean, you hope for more, but at the rate that we going, and we could probably say it could be the food, all the processed food that we eat. And it could be the way that our lifestyle that could be contributing to us falling off. But you really ain't got that much time. So even the people that's single that say, like, one day I'll find somebody, I don't think, who was it? Ali was saying that? I don't think Ali was lying when he's saying that it's not going to be nobody there by your bedside. Like, you have to build these bonds early on. Otherwise, that attachment is not going to be there. If you don't start early, nobody's going to want to stick around when shit stop working. Like when your dick stop working, when your pussy dry up, they ain't going to want to be around because y'all haven't put the time in. People that got married early, they put that time in, so it's easier for them to be able to endure when these things occur. But if you in your 40s or something like that, and you saying, I just ain't found the right one, well, you might have to look at yourself and try to figure out what's going on, because we getting older, we are dying. And then when you sit in that bedside, when you reflecting over your entire life, and you haven't got the max out of life, you haven't got the experience.
agree with you 100%. What I was trying to say was, I think it's better. Marriage is better when two people say divorce is not an option. Like if it's one person saying divorce is not an option, it's not gonna work. What I'm saying is that should be part of our language. That should be part of how we think. The mentality needs to be tougher. Maybe people are just too weak to be in marriage because it is like a war. It is you do have to endure some stuff. You do have to look the other way. You do have to forgive. You got to do the hard stuff or you're not ready to be married, and that's why you would get divorced. But I'm just saying, if we can't even in a conversation say, you know what, divorce is not an option, we're going to take divorce off the table. That's how people last in 35 and plus years, because they do take divorce off the table. But we constantly like, well, maybe technically I'll let you off the hook for this and that, and I'm off the hook for that. Like that's where it all starts. I'm saying it's a slippery slope.
I think everybody agrees with you, but that's why when we start processing what's happening, that's what Trev and Darwin was trying to say, is that when you're looking at divorce rates, women are leaving. And we know what's even worse, what we coming to find out in data wise, even if the woman cheats, men are more likely to stay. They don't even leave when the woman cheats as well too. So women, the number one reason why people divorce is because of lack of commitment. So women are divorcing 70% to 80% of the time, and 90% if they're educated. That's what we keep speaking about. Not only that, our women is the only group that's divorce rate is higher than their marriage rate. And our group is the only one where the men out marry women. There's 500,000 more married black men than there are black women. So men are trying to marry, but women are our women are the biggest divorces. They're leaving and they're not committing. So I agree with you 100%. We shouldn't leave each other, but majority of people who are leaving because of lack of commitment are women.
I would agree with you on the commitment part, but I think I would say it might be better for us to commit to each other, sort of like what Ruth saying, committed to each other, to a spiritual commitment. You know, I'll just love the shit out of you. But I think we are committing. We're committing to the things that we can do for each other. And when those things are no longer being done, then the things we committed to initially aren't there no more. Why are we here?
The foundation. You stay because of the past. You stay because you were good to me.
I get it. I bought into the relationship thinking that, hey, look, I'm just telling you what really happens. Hey, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. This is who I am. And then when you no longer those things and bring those things, and that the relationship is over with.
Because Ruth, most men that love their women most men don't take breaks on nothing. What can he take a break on? You're leaving if he take a break on stop paying the bills. If he stops doing his duties. Most women, if a man loses a job, she giving him 6 months, she gone. Most women that give sex breaks, cooking breaks, kid breaks, might stop going to the gym. Women are taking breaks all the time. Most men can't take breaks or the relationship ends. If a man takes a break on any of his duties, the relationship will end.
Can I say something about the 70% though? I am seeing a pattern though. Yes, the number is very high. Yes, we have a lot of unreasonable breakups. Divorces. But sometimes the men give up in the relationship and they make the woman file. Like I want to give 10 to 20% on that. Because sometimes you have to file because he gave up. He got a whole girlfriend, a whole baby, all like he don't want to be in a relationship, but he does never want to, you know, how y'all do that thing where y'all don't want to break up with somebody and y'all just let them believe they're in a relationship. And that does happen. So I bring
it does, but that's not the majority of the cases. But you are absolutely right. It happens, but it's not majority of the cases.
Yeah.
And to Darwin's point, I think what he's saying is that because there's a lot of people that's not religious. And so they're not tying their marriage back to anything.
Exactly.
So if they're hopping in these marriages, like they don't really understand like the severity of. They understand the purpose. Like they only really understand the purpose of vow. They just know it's just something that's just being said. And so like they're not groomed at an early age as far as the importance of these things. And so when they hop out here and they do these things, they're not taking it serious. It's just something to do. You know, like the women are getting married because they want the wedding. They want the ring. They want to say that they was chose. They want to say that they're not for the streets. They want to say that somebody loves them. So, but they're not tying it up to a higher power or a higher purpose. And that's what Bruiser was speaking about. So when you talk about, you know, how come y'all not really saying that we're going to stick it out? Because you got to go back a little bit further to understand how we get into these points of them not really taking it serious.
I would even argue that most of the people who don't want to get married or don't even want to do it, probably have spiritual warfare going on. They probably don't even believe in God for real, or they stop believing in him. Because anybody in their right mind who actually believe in God or is religious and spiritual knows that it's important to, be married and value it. And I think that's the reason why maybe a lot of people, that could be like one of the number one reasons that's keeping people from reading the word, because then they feel some conviction and they feel like, okay, I don't even want to get married. I'm enjoying slutting these joints out. So I can't really be religious. You know what I'm saying? I can't, it's worse. I think it's worse to be a hypocrite. It's just better to not even practice religion at all.
Well,
Practice it and still,
because that's an accountability piece. So like
that's the word.
So like anytime you trying to get right on the right path, if you do the right things, then it means you're holding yourself accountable. So it's easier to be able to do the things that ain't right when you ain't had that accountability piece. It's like you telling yourself, "Oh, I can do whatever I want to do," but once you start tying into that, then it becomes a whole different ball game.
I mean, let me ask y'all a question, brothers first. Do y'all think men would rather be with righteous women or unrighteous women?
Unrighteous woman with a big booty.
You asking the women or men?
I'm asking the brothers. Do you think brothers would rather be? We can say a good woman. Would men rather be with women who follow God and are righteous, or women who are ungodly and don't follow God? What would you think of most men?
I would say the ones that follow God.
I would say the ones that follow God most definitely.
Right. So I'm gonna ask the sisters. Do you think most women would want to be with men that follow God and are righteous, or would they rather be with men who are unrighteous and would let them do whatever they want to do?
They're not gonna like my answer. I would rather be with a man that's righteous. Sorry.
No. You said you. I said, would most women rather be with godly men who have order, or with men that would let them do whatever they want to do and be unrighteous?
Men that let them do whatever they want.
That's so when we start breaking it down, men will try to be righteous and want righteous, and once women are unrighteous, their standards are blown up. We on two panels.
Let the other woman chime in and see if we can get an even.
Oh, go ahead, D.
I feel like, okay, the question was would women want men that's more of a righteous or
godly,
do whatever they
got
want,
order, or would she rather be with a man to let her do what she want to do?
I feel like it's the man that's of righteous, and I can just speak from my perspective, from what I see.
No, he asking you to speak from most
women, not you. Ruth made it about her real fast too.
Okay, I guess because I know more women that look men that are of standards that are God-fearing men. So for majority of women, I can't say. That's why I can't really speak on this, because I know more.
We would say our friends. Hold on, D. We would say our associates and our friends are godly, follow righteousness as well too. But we can go and see if what men would prefer or not. We know your associates.
Environment, even if I were to just like be walking around like this is what's in my community, I'm seeing women go after men that are of value. So,
do they like bad boys?
No.
Oh my.
That's what I'm telling you.
D, you was the only one to keep it real earlier. What happened?
But that's what I'm saying though.
You don't live in America.
With me, for myself, if I was to say like, okay, with most women, I think that most women want a good quality man.
No, we said.
Hold on, one more question. One more. Do you find that most women deal with guys that they have to change and they end up saying he's not a good guy, or do most women end up saying they were the problem?
No, they're not gonna say that they were the problem.
So think about.
Ali, I thought you was gonna keep it godly man, because then that means if you say most women want to be with a godly man, then that means most
so
women
they would have said he was a good. No, typically if you ask women what happened in a relationship, they'll say they try to change him. He wouldn't grow. He was toxic. They'll never say they were the problem. And every time they deal with toxic guys, the good guy has principles. The good guy wants to be orderly. Sometimes, a lot of times they'll conflate with the nice guy with the good guy, or weak guy with a nice guy. But a good guy has manhood about himself. He not gonna let you run him over either. As much as the toxic guy makes you look good. The other guy will make you look good though, but the toxic guy makes you look good doing bad. The good guy makes you look good doing good.
Okay, I get what you're saying now. So no, it would definitely be at the.
Why you shaking your head, Marcus? What I say that was wrong?
So when I was talking about the dominance, am I echoing?
No, it was D. I just muted her. So
When
like, yeah, and D, if I
I,
muted her just for the echo.
when I was talking about the dominance thing earlier, that's the issue. I don't think it's good, bad, this, that, and the third. The people who assume that they're good men oftentimes bend to the will of the woman, trying to be good men, that's spiritual or not. And by them bending, they put themselves in a position where, although they may appear to be helping her and doing what's necessary for the relationship, they're being run over in the event. When we was talking about sexual assault earlier, in the attempt to try and appease and make everything work with that woman, what you end up doing, what somebody will end up doing is putting themselves in a position where the woman no longer can look up to them and respect them. Even though they're doing it for the good of the woman won't respect them because essentially the desire to look up and have admiration for the man distinguishes by him doing what he thinks is right in order to help her. So an example of that would be somebody trying to make their family work, and the wife wants them to, or the girlfriend wants them to do something that he's vehemently against. But him trying to be supportive, he does the thing, and then she turns around and is like, "I know what it is. I just it don't feel the same no more." But what it tends to be is she respected the man that she believed him to be, and when she put something in front of him, she thought that he would not bend for her, and she would even come to him as if that was a non-negotiable. I need this to be XYZ. And then he bends for her in that case. When he bends all the way over, then she loses the respect for him, and moving forward, the power dynamic within a relationship shifts, and it cannot be the same unless he figures a way to reestablish dominance.
So I'll concede and tell you that initially, if the man continues to let the man run over him, he's demonstrating some weak characteristics. But we have to point to the fact that that's a toxic woman. If she's trying to put stuff in front of her man to make him fight for a relationship, for her to do what's right for the best interest of the family, but also data-wise, I can concede to you that there's outliers of men that may let women run over them, but for the most part, men don't let women run over them. That's why most relationships don't work and most relationships fail, and that's why 70% of our women are unmarried. And I told you before, 500,000 more married black men. So I can concede to you that those men shouldn't let women run over them. But the fact that we're paying more attention to him trying to keep his family together, more so that the woman is testing him and will sacrifice her family for it, or even sacrifice her man over it, is a bigger problem than the fact that he tried to concede to her to make the family jail.
You know what
So
I mean?
again, the issue is power dynamics within a relationship. What's right or wrong, or what should be done or shouldn't be done. The main thing that's consistent along the theme of this is you have to maintain a healthy power dynamic within that relationship where there's admiration that exists. Once a woman, like when we was talking earlier about what was y'all talking about? Things that a relationship should end behind. In my opinion, once the respect is gone, once the woman no longer respects you, you should leave that relationship. It's hard when you have kids, so that changes the dynamic. But prior to any children, if the respect leaves the relationship, you need to leave as well, because that's ultimately the way she shows love and the way you will receive it. So
we did state earlier that.
Hold on, Bruce. Question, Marcus, if somebody didn't respect you, like knowing what kind of person you are and your characteristics and traits and the quality of human being you are, if they didn't respect you, no, I'm not asking you that question. Would it demonstrate they're a good person?
I can't say if they're a good or a bad person. That doesn't them not having respect for me.
So I go away from you. I go away from you. If someone doesn't respect God, are they a good person?
In my opinion, I would say if they're atheists, can be good people, so it's possible.
So if you don't respect God, you can be a good person. You can be a good person if you don't respect God. And you're using atheists.
Do atheists respect God, or do they think it don't exist?
We're talking about someone who believes in God that doesn't respect God. Atheists don't believe God exists.
That's completely different. If you believe in God, I can't see why you wouldn't respect God.
I didn't ask that though. If you don't respect God, are you a good person?
You got to add all the context to that question. That's a weird question.
That's a weird
question. If you're asking, if you believe in God, then
I'll move it to somewhere else.
God is God.
If you don't respect a good person, are you a good person? And you know the difference between good and bad. If you don't respect a good person, are you a good person?
How are you determining what this good? Somebody could think they're a good person and they're not a good person.
Okay, that's why I wanted to come in and say,
wow,
we know.
No, Bruiser.
I'm gonna clear it up. We stated that a woman.
No. We all right here on the panel We all gonna concede to what is good. We ain't defining it right now. We're saying this is good as a panel and this is bad. If you don't respect good, are you a good person?
No.
We didn't say what was good.
Right, that's the thing.
That's why I was trying to clear up. That's why I said earlier. You wasn't here earlier, but earlier we stated that a good woman is a woman who is willing to be led. And I would argue that a good man is a man who has the capability and expresses leadership.
Okay, Marcus, what's a good person?
Oh, so now you're saying a good person?
No, because we gotta. If we are struggling with even saying we all have maybe a different, we're gonna make subjective, objective good today. I'm just talking about good in his mind, then in your mind of what good is, Marcus. And I try to use you because I would think you a person that people respect and see as a good person. So whatever you think is good in your mind, if someone doesn't respect that, are they a good person?
So the reason I'm answering it like this is it's somebody who would think I'm the worst person in the world. Like if you did something to my family, right? The person who did the thing to my family, if I caught up with them, they family would think I'm a terrible person.
Absolutely right. That's why I said it is important that if we're talking about relationships, we need to keep it as a good man or a good woman for particularly
whatever way. Is this hard of a question that Ruth? Is this a hard question?
Welcome, Ali.
We're using outliers and we're using exceptions of what good couldn't be. Whatever we all view as good. So whatever your perception. No, hold on. I'm even using y'all perception. Whatever perception y'all have, all of us different perceptions. Let's make it subjective. Whatever you think is good, if you don't respect that person, are you good?
No.
Or I mean, how many ways can we do this?
No, you don't. Like,
I think that's easy enough.
Yeah, that's easy enough. If you don't respect them, yeah. It's bad if you don't respect people that are good to you or good, period.
So that's the main thing. If we always try to discredit good men because how a bad woman could view him, and we'll say because she don't love him, respect him. She must have love bombed him for him to think that she loved him and respected him because she's with him. So if she didn't respect and love him, and she's with a man that she valued and switches up, and all of a sudden said, "Hey, I don't listen to this brother because I don't respect him and value him," then that says a quality about what kind of woman that is to be with this man that she doesn't respect and love.
Yeah, and that's the reason why we try to clear it up, because you said she don't respect the good man. And that's why I was asking you, what is a good man? We gave the disclaimer.
Marcus, and y'all just conceded to the fact if a woman was dealing with a man for 2 years and he was doing everything for her and she didn't respect and love him, he was a sucker. So you got to reverse it.
That don't make him not a good man. That just make him not a good person for the relationship. He could be good as he wants. That'll make him good in a relationship.
So why was she with him?
We never said he was a bad man.
But why was she with him then?
She was with him because of the expectations he set.
So did she use him?
No, he gave himself. She didn't use him.
If I'm dealing with Ruth in a 2-year relationship, and then eventually I say, you know what, I don't respect you and love you, and she didn't do nothing for me to disrespect her and love her except for try to cater to me, I'm the problem.
A good man or good woman.
I don't know, man. I thought we got past this part of the topic, but
can't answer the question.
What I think what Trev said, I think Trev said it perfectly with the XP. I mean, having enough XP prevents this situation.
I keep thinking about that.
Y'all are moving the goalposts.
Thank you.
No,
Thank you.
Actually,
you was just disagreeing with him. Now you like this is crazy, Bruiser, that you're doing this. How is this? You know what? This is what I mean by when we try to create at least have a baseline of what good and what love is, and then we start moving the goalposts. If you disrespect a good person, a loving person, a humane person, you are the bad person, no matter what. And if you don't love and value that person, it demonstrates the low quality of a person.
We didn't say that. We didn't disagree with that.
So then
you stated the guy who simped his way into a relationship and stopped simping. You're saying that we're supposed to say that the woman is the enemy or the bad person in the situation.
True.
All we were saying was the guy that was simping it was self-inflicted. And if he had enough XP, sort of like what Trev said, these things wouldn't happen. He said it's important for men to build up their XP so they can have the relationship intelligence. So they don't have to deal with this. Because women are receivers. You know what I'm saying? If you bless them with gifts and stuff, they're not going to turn it down, and they're going to expect it. If you're your representative, if you're consistently doing this for 2 years and then just stop, that makes you a bad person.
Because
Because if that's who you genuinely are, and this is the behavior that you're portraying to this woman, and that's what you better maintain. That's why Trev said you better dial it. If that's not who you are, if that's not authentic,
that would be
dial it back, or communicate the terms of what you want to receive for your efforts. And if you're not communicating the terms to this woman, you can't call her. Because like I said to Trev, I said, if you told her every Thursday, if you told her every Thursday, I won't walk 3,000 for my efforts and my resources, she'd give it to you if she know that's what you want. But if you ain't communicating that, what the hell is she supposed to do?
Especially to make that to even help them.
If I was in a relationship with a woman catering to me for 2 years, but then I say, you know what, I don't love and respect you, and I leave her.
Oh no, that wasn't a story, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah, you made it about what you wanted to talk about.
No, we had a video.
We had to move the goalpost so much and then switch the narratives to something else instead of acknowledge.
That wasn't the video. The video
someone
was
is dealing with someone and the person says they don't respect and love them, but they're with them, we make the other person bad.
I think you got to see the video to get the whole context.
We weren't talking about the video though, Bruiser. We were just talking about good and bad, and we can't even concede to what good and bad is right now.
Well, we did. That's why I try to tell you.
All right, y'all. We're gonna get a couple more points in because we're at the top of the hour. All
right.
More points in.
Gotcha. So I'll just say with that, when I was discussing that earlier, I was saying that I do blame both parties, but even if the person that was getting done wrong, I say their main problem was ignorance, right? And even though that's a fault of theirs, it's not necessarily something that they could help. And if you're going into a situation in good faith, then it's really not your job. We try to instruct and inform and pull coats to help our younger gentlemen to recognize, discern these types of women. And we tell young ladies the same thing about men who may abuse a situation as well. So it is problematic for men to be uninformed, right? But the only problem is ignorance. If they're going in good faith, it's like, damn, can you really fault them for not understanding if they're just green and nobody was in their life to tell them, hey, look, this is what's up? If they just really doing what they were taught and they figured like, all right, well, I'm gonna really love this person. They were expecting it, but at some point they come to a realization that says, well, damn, this isn't supposed to be. This isn't what I thought it was. This isn't how it's supposed to be. I've tried everything. And maybe them as a person may have even increased what it was that they were doing, thinking that they might get a chance at this woman reciprocating, and then still find out that, nah, she really is a bona fide user. So at that point, you're like, damn, it's hard to really blame the man. I understand he's at fault for his ignorance, but I don't see him at fault for anything else. And ignorance is something that sometimes you just can't really help. So can you even fault him then?
At the end of the day, if you get into a relationship with a woman who don't believe in God and don't believe the relationship should be based on the way God intended it, especially a marriage, then you should expect the relationship should be transactional. I think that's a good takeaway from this. And I'm not going to sit here and say it's bad. If it's communicated, then it's good because you communicated that. So anybody who have the balls, I think it really takes balls to deviate from the norm and say, hey, look, like a woman, a lot of women who's faced with this, they date economically. They tend to do that. And if they can communicate that, I don't see anything wrong with it. I find something wrong with it if you deal with them after they communicate that and expect them to change it.
Who do you know who the biggest followers of God in the United States is? In prayers, in attendance of church?
It's women, probably. Okay, so let me add this point on to what you were saying,
follower and an attendee. You can be the greatest attendee, but a follower who actually follow the word, that's a whole different thing.
So to add on to your point, Bruiser, like, you know how you said you don't see anything wrong with a transactional relationship, right?
If it's communicated in the terms,
I don't
see anything wrong with it. If y'all
for me, I might look at that. This is how subjective it is. For me, I might look at that woman and say, oh no, that's a bad woman. I would never date her. That man may feel she's a good woman and be okay with that. That's why that definition shifts so much.
What definition?
then nobody can speak on. Then so none of us can speak on. Then there should be no panels. There should be no discussions on what a good and bad is. We shouldn't call women hoes. We shouldn't call men suckers. He thought he wasn't being a sucker, so why are we calling him a sucker if it's that subjective? I could say he's getting right.
If he doesn't think, well, we could talk about whatever we want because it's opinion.
No, I didn't say. But you say it's subjective.
In regards to him being a sucker, if he don't feel you a sucker, then he doesn't have to be a sucker. I could feel you a sucker, and you don't feel you a sucker. It's subjective.
Contradiction then.
How?
We have to reserve the right to give our perspectives and opinions, Ali. And a lot of us have people that are inspired by those opinions, because if you want to be honest, nothing is really fact. If you could articulate a point that makes sense and resonate with somebody's life and their decisions, then it's a good point for them. You know, they might be able to take it and apply it to their life. But you know, I'm starting to see a lot of relationships built on transaction, and they actually work. You know, who's to say?
Yeah, but I don't
into something else. But
I don't think that's what he was getting at. I think he was just trying to say
risky
we should have a baseline. I think that's more so what he was trying to establish. That we should just have a
Everything's
baseline.
subjective now, Trev, and facts. There's no facts. It's just all opinions. It all depends.
Well, the things that you're trying to make facts are subjective. There are facts that exist in the world, but the things you're trying to make a fact, like you're not going to reach a general consensus with us to agree on the word good. Because
no, Marcus, you said something was subjective. I didn't say it was subjective. You said it's
no.
subjective.
I'm telling you, in my opinion, the things you're trying to make objective are subjective. Like, all right, let me ask you a question. Do you think polygamy is good or bad?
It's nature.
Is it good or bad?
It's good.
Ruth, is polygamy good or bad? I can't hear you. We can't hear you.
She said bad.
we can't hear her. But it's bad. So based off of that, we can't have a conversation.
Bad?
She's saying
Can
it's
you hear
bad.
me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Bad.
So based off of that, if I assume that my position is correct and engage in a conversation as if she doesn't know what she's talking about, one, I invalidate what she's saying, and that's genuinely her perspective. And then to take it a step further, to continue to say I'm right, you're wrong when that's her perspective. Then we cross over into the only fact in that is that if
That's
she
a
truly
bad argument.
believes,
That's a bad argument in what we're talking about. Because you talking about it, what we really mainly talking about is if someone's engaging in monogamy and if someone's engaging in polygamy, if they're committing, if they did something wrong or right. You're talking about what someone's preference. You're talking about a preference. So if we're trying to commit to what's right and wrong, you can make it subjective, but that's why I said use your right and wrong. But you couldn't concede to that either.
so my right and wrong would because this is the issue. This is the issue for me, right? I would think that me giving all my money to a woman and her beating me on the regular and putting a diaper on me would be extremely wrong. But somebody else could feel that's right for them. And me saying it's wrong for me, I can't look at them and say that's wrong if that's what they're choosing to do and want to do.
You act like there's no right or wrong though when you say that.
Right. You're picking when you feel something's right and you picking when something is wrong.
There's a basic right or wrong. I thought men had it in them, but I mean, maybe I was wrong.
So is polygamy right? We just came from that and then you jump to this.
So let's not go to like the most controversial thing. It's so hard.
You knew that would be something that it would be extremely controversial.
Right. It's very extreme.
All I asked you was to you, whatever.
All right, re-ask the question. Maybe I didn't understand you.
What your perspective of good was. I even went to God, and you was like, "Oh, you went to atheists, but atheists don't believe in God." So all I was asking, if a person that follows God doesn't respect, if a person that believes in God doesn't respect God, is that a good person?
I would say they're not a good Christian or a good Muslim or whatever religion they believe in. They're conflicted and they're probably not ideal to be the person to highlight.
And that's all I was saying. If someone is associating themselves in an intimate relationship, in a relationship with someone that they don't love and respect, and they value them to be in a relationship, typically that person isn't a good person if they're just using the person.
No, but a transactional relationship can exist, which was Darwin's point. That's what happens with
is that
arranged marriages? That doesn't make that a bad.
Now you move the goalpost again with the arranged marriage, Marcus.
No, what I'm saying is that's an example of what you're talking about and how it works. Okay. You said that this is wrong, and I'm explaining to you in this situation it becomes right.
It's still in right or wrong.
Is using someone right or wrong is the main thing. Is using someone right or wrong?
If you're using someone with their consent, you're useful. If you're using someone without their consent, you're being used.
Right. So if you're using somebody who wants to be used, there's nothing wrong with that.
But is it being used?
Yeah, that's what y'all gonna.
It's not being used because both. If it's something that someone wants, they're not being used because both parties are having something fulfilled. So it's not using at that part. Using can't be without consent, right?
Y'all the leaders.
Yes.
Y'all gonna lead me somewhere? Where y'all gonna lead me to? Because this is crazy.
Used.
I tried to get off of this earlier when we determined, what was a good man and what was a good woman, and I got rid of all the nuances that people talk about on YouTube, all the fat and body count and old and kids and all. All I just said was a woman who can be led. I guarantee you, if you're a woman who can be led, you wouldn't have no problem getting in a relationship, period. And if you're a man who can lead, have the capability to lead, you wouldn't have no issue getting in a relationship either. Maintaining a relationship is a whole nother ballgame. But when you have those two, the relationship can last forever. I wholeheartedly believe that.
I wish everybody could answer that question. What makes a good woman?
I've answered it.
Did they answer it though? I think you're the only one.
I mean, they said she had to be fit, fine, cooperative, and all that. And that's why I asked Sweeney. I said, I stereotyped Sweeney. I said he's a big guy, so big guys typically are okay with a woman not being fit.
Ruth, a good-hearted woman. She values men. She values women. She values children. She wants the best out of society. She looks at people for the quality of who they are versus what they have. She wants the best for society as well too. She wants families. She wants families to flourish. She can care less about material possessions. She truly cares about who people are. That's a good woman. She believes, and she don't. Even if a woman doesn't believe in God, but she wants to be righteous. If she doesn't have a religious and she believes in purpose, that still would be a good woman to me as well too. I don't want to say just because she don't believe in the faith, but she doesn't have to be fit. She doesn't have to be in shape. And if she's following, it's something she follows that is obviously in order, and it keeps the family together, or it brings the best out of people as well too. Because if she's following something that's wrong, that doesn't necessarily make her a good woman. And if she's out of shape, that doesn't necessarily make her a bad woman. But just a good-hearted human being, judging someone by their heart.
I would agree with that definition, Ali. Right? I agree with you. The point we're making is, if somebody is extremely religious, right, and just by you not, you're going to hell because you're sinning. You're not a good person. They would say you're not a good person strictly based off of that. That's why
I wouldn't agree with what Ali said. I would agree. I wouldn't agree. What the reason why I tried to be as simple as plain when I talked about a good woman, because you wanted to be able to appeal to all men. A woman who's able to be led should be it, period. But once you start putting, she wants the best for society, she's God-fearing, she can't be led, because she can't be led based on the mass appeal. Like if it's a man that's not religious, then she wouldn't be compatible. If it's a man who don't give a shit about society, I only care about what you can bring to the table in the household that I bring. I'm not worried about society. I need to focus on here. If that's the case, she wouldn't appeal to him. So whenever you have all these other things attached to her, it limits her options. That's why I try to see if us men can come to a consensus to say if she can be led. Because if she can lead, that means you can shift and pull her in any kind of way. And she doesn't necessarily need to come with these already made ingredients.
That don't make her a good woman. Just because she
make her a good woman based off of that.
You just said you can make her a good woman. That doesn't make her a good woman because she can be led. That don't make her a good woman.
Makes her a good woman for you. Like
I wasn't saying for me. I was saying for any man that wanted to date a woman, if he looked at her with all these attributes and all these preferences and whatever, and principles and standards, it would be harder to deal with her because her cup is already full. Versus a woman who's simply just waiting on a man to lead her. She's willing to go wherever this man.
A good woman would be, I see a bad man.
Is a good woman.
I see a good man. I see a man with my intuition. I see this man has purpose. This man cares about people. He wants a family. I'm going to follow this man. He's orderly man. I'm going to follow that man. I'll lead that.
These things fall up. Can't you see that all of those things you listed literally falls under a woman being able to be led?
No, it doesn't. Because she could follow a pimp, she could follow a thug, she
Thank
could follow a dude that's a dope boy, she could follow a dude that grape, she could follow all kind of dudes. Most women talk about they follow dudes that were bad dudes. There's a whole lot of
Okay,
lists,
so
a lot of things.
now what you did was you moved the goalpost. Now you're saying she's gullible. She can be led by any man that impresses her. I didn't say that. I'm saying when a man and a woman meet, what makes this woman a good woman is simply her being able to be led. She can be whatever the hell you want to call it. She got all these discrepancies, but because she's able to be led, those things can be adjusted. These things that may not be appealing can change because she's willing to cooperate with you. So she might be fat. You know what I'm saying? She might have an attitude or whatever, but because she's able to be led, those things can be changed. You get what I'm saying?
You're giving context. I get what you're saying, but just because she can be led doesn't make her a good woman, is all I'm saying. That don't make her a good woman.
So if it doesn't make her a good woman, then that says something about your leadership. Because if you can't lead a woman if you can't lead a woman to be a good man, and you're the leader, it points back to you. That means that you don't have the capability to lead her into or improve or level her
You're
up,
a
whatever
bad man, right?
the case may be.
That would make him a bad man because he can't lead.
That would just make the relationship fail.
No. He got to be a bad man. No. Yeah, he got to be a bad man.
No, the argument doesn't make sense.
That would make him a bad man.
The argument it wasn't about whether a man could lead or not. It was about, you said that the fact that she can be led makes her a good woman.
I correct myself. Ruth was correct because we said a good man is a man who's able to lead, who can effectively express leadership.
Ruth, you conceded that the fact the man can lead just makes him a good man because he can lead you?
I don't agree with nothing he say. I'm just saying.
Listen, I get it. He got to have money and all this stuff. Well, we're trying to get past all that. This is trying to have.
Hold on, Ruth. Is Hitler a good man? Was he a good man?
It's a segment of society that love him. The people that like.
Wow.
In my personal opinion, no, he is not a good man. But I can go to a forum with over 1 million people who think he's the greatest. Is what we saying.
He's probably God.
Yeah.
Answer the question, Darwin. Was Hitler a good man?
And in what context are we answering this question?
Because he could lead a woman. You said that's the definition.
I've never seen him. No, I would say no. Because I don't have there's no history or no abundance of evidence that shows that he was a good man or a good husband.
He was a good leader.
You asking me a loaded.
He was a good leader though. He might not have been.
If you ask me, was he a good leader? I would say he probably was one of the best leaders of all time.
Oh wow.
He was able to lead a whole nation to annihilate.
He was married and he had people follow him. So you said a leader is a good man. So was he a good man? I'd ask you if he was a good leader.
We're talking about in the context of the relationship.
So Marcus, you believe he was a good man? And
no, listen to me closely. I do not believe Hitler was a good man. However, I believe the people following him and the people that to this day praise him think he was a good man and a great man.
So a leader isn't necessarily a good man, correct, Marcus? Since you don't believe he was a good man,
you can be a good leader and a bad man.
Huh?
You can be a good leader. That's why.
No, y'all said a good leader is a good man. No, you said a good leader is a good man. Y'all equated good leader to good man. So does that make Hitler a good man to you?
We said a good man has the capability of leading in a relationship.
He led a woman. So you're saying that
he was married. Yeah. And he had followers. Yeah. He was married. He has to be good to you too.
Yeah.
But that's why I asked you, what context are you asking? When you're trying to, what you're doing is setting us up. When you just say,
no, you setting your own self up. No, you setting your own self up. I'm not setting you up.
You just leave it out.
Bruce, you're setting your own self up. You said a leader. You said a leader is a good man, and you said a woman who can be led is a good woman. You set yourself up. I didn't set that up. I didn't say that.
No, you.
I said a woman can lead. I said a woman can follow something bad. I said women can follow someone bad, and a man could be a bad leader, and he could be a bad person if he's a good leader.
I'm just gonna say this is becoming extremely circular at this point.
I think that y'all like power so much that like Darwin likes power. So it's only about if a woman would listen to every word I say. That's what I take from it. A
Damn.
woman is good if she listens to everything. I want her to switch her religion. I want her to listen to what I say. I want her to wear what I want her to wear. And it's like, how is that a two-way relationship? That's not a relationship. That's a dictatorship.
No, that's not a dictatorship, because a dictatorship, I would think that you don't have the option to decline the guidance from the superior. You get what I'm saying? You don't have that option. I think the option is death or incarceration. But when we're talking about leadership, you have the option to decline whether or not you want to sway whatever way he's turning you. And let's say, granted, it's for the best interest of the relationship, and he is the leader. He's the man of the household. If you could listen, I think that right there single-handedly could fix a lot of the problems in relationships.
But sometimes the guys, y'all have to like read books and find out like what really goes on about leadership. Stop making stuff up from your head, and that's how it's supposed to go. That's why it's hard to follow.
I think the book okay, so are you insinuating that we're doing that?
That's what I'm saying. What are you suggesting, Ruth?
Read some John Maxwell. Find out the 21
How about we read the Bible?
Leadership. You cut me off. I'm talking.
I'm
just helping you. Let's see. That's what happens when you have a good woman. She gives you good suggestions. She gives you good books to read, so you could become a better leader. So she want to follow you, and when you see her following you, y'all both.
That's called manipulation.
See, I can't say nothing. You're right.
Because if a woman has have an opinion about a book, if she gives a man a book so he can become a better leader, it's
from a man that knows about leadership.
She's gonna be biased with her choices of what book she want to mold this man. Listen, she can really like articulate how she wants this man to do if she's feeding him his knowledge on how to lead her. He's not really leading her. He's a puppet on strings.
She didn't write the book.
She don't have to write it. As long as you read the book and you like the shit you see in there, and if he read it, he can replicate the shit you like, then you're the one who's indoctrinating this dude.
Okay. No. So she's indoctrinating him. If she gives him the Bible, she didn't write the Bible. If he follows the Bible, then he's a puppet. Is that what you're saying?
No. I believe the Bible is a book that a woman can't use to have a bias on it.
No, I give you a Bible. I'm a Christian. You're a puppet. That's it. That's how it goes. That's exactly what you just said.
He didn't say that at all.
I said a man.
Now you conflating.
I suggested one thing. I suggested a book so you could get better at. So I could give her better, so we can grow.
No,
so using the Bible, Ruth. If your husband tell you cannot be a preacher, is that an issue?
Here you go with your one little woman preacher stuff.
See, Ruth dug herself a grave.
I'm just saying,
is that the only verse you read in the Bible, or
it's not? But I'm asking you, would you consider that? Would that be? What are you saying?
We're talking about when a woman gives a man an idea, then now she's controlling him. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
No, she was saying if she gives him a book specific to his. No, I understood the context of what he was saying. He said if she gives him say the book says your wife gets all your money and you must bow down.
Exactly.
If you give him a book called that and he reads it and then you instruct him on what to do, he's a leader based off of that book. Then
See, look, you're telling on yourself because that means y'all never read this book. Y'all leaders and y'all never read this book, right?
We talking about the example of what he said, bro.
You giving a man a book to read so you can orchestrate.
Can I talk?
What type of leader he is?
Is it okay? Is it 2024? Okay, listen, I'm on a panel. Don't let me get the law involved. So if you give a man a book that based off of principles that another man studied, and you say, hey, honey, I like this book. I heard about this book. I didn't even read this book, but maybe we should study this because you're the leader. And I just want to make sure, you got everything and I have your back. That's a problem.
It's not, but he has to agree with it. No,
if your agenda is initially what you stated the first, to give him a book on leadership so he can know how to lead you. If you give this man the Bible and this man is a Muslim, let's say this man is.
Stop making it extreme. That's where you lose.
I'm not making it extreme.
Ruth. It's nothing wrong with you giving suggestions to your man as long as you follow him. You can give suggestions.
The book can say
you can give him a book, but as long as you're not pushing back on him and challenging him and going against his leadership, it's not a problem.
I know, but he said
you gotta understand if this man is dating you and vetting you, he's probably already got his blueprint on how he want to lead. And if you come in and say, here's a book on how to lead me, Basically, what you're saying to me is that whatever you intended to come with, whatever leadership or knowledge you can, it needs to come from this book right here that I'm giving to you.
If you love her and you respect her and you trust her, and that's a woman you spend the rest of your life with, you wouldn't take consideration if she gave you something, if she gave you a book to read.
No.
This goes back to the dominance thing we were talking about.
It depends on the agenda behind it.
Yeah.
What's the agenda?
If she's trying to mold me to somebody, and so I can better treat her the way she want to be treated, then that's I would say that's manipulation.
Why are you twisting it? It will be to, if it's good for the relationship. I may not agree with what the book says.
And Peter's hold on
the fact see, that's why I said a lot of women struggle with submission. The fact that she can let come out her mouth what's good good for the relationship suggests that she wants to have some type.
So 1 Peter 3 says, likewise, ye wives, be in subjection to your own husbands, that if any obey not the word, they also may without the word be won by the conversation of the wives. So even the Bible says, depending on what your wife is pushing on you or trying to influence you to do, it's not a bad thing, but she still needs to be under your subjection.
The wife can save the husband because of her behavior.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay,
that's what the Bible
so y'all
says.
read now. You read. Okay, I get it. I'm a Christian. I mean, I'm not gonna say I'm a Christian. I read the Bible and I believe in God. But what I was stating was valid. But when you read from the very book to try to make a point, it just kind of makes it kind of muddy. You know what I'm saying?
Makes it muddy using the Bible.
Well, listen, just get the point. Let's walk it back. Let's say Ruth running into a man. She don't know what this man religion is, right? But maybe she has a religion.
He's Christian.
In order for her to be led, you gotta understand what I'm saying. In order for her to be led, the things that this man believe in is very important. And for her to say, okay, take this book. Who knows if this man even reads the Bible? We're not talking about me, man. We're talking about a general man that just want to be a leader. He needs to be able to find a wife who's willing to go where he say go. And if she said, "Hey, look, here's a Bible, guide me this way," I'm gonna look at this book and be like, "Fuck, I'm not using that." You know, I might not even believe in God. I might not even believe in the Bible. I might read the Quran, or I might not even read like sort of like what in White.
So the scenario doesn't work.
How am I supposed to lead you if you're trying to come with an indoctrination that I need to adapt so that I can lead you?
We had this conversation before. I would never date somebody that's not a Christian. Okay. So
Okay,
therefore,
so
we
now
gotta
you're
be on
moving
the
the
same
goalpost.
page. I'm not. You moved the goalpost because you said that you're not the same religion. Because now you know it's gonna make me look like I'm not submissive. But
my whole point was, regardless of religion or whatever, or books, just simply being led, it compensates for any religion the man has. The fact that he's able to lead you and you're willing to follow, it doesn't matter what he believes. It doesn't matter what he eat. It don't matter what type of sneakers he wear.
Men can do whatever they want and women can't. That's basically what you're saying, right?
I didn't say he can do whatever he want. I'm saying if you're to be cooperative and submissive, the things that the preferences and perspectives he have, it shouldn't, your perspectives and your preferences and principles don't really matter.
Wow. That's not a two-way.
Let me rephrase that. Let me rephrase that comment. So
don't fix it. Don't save him. You don't want to.
No.
You think it was why now you
know
why it was
a man. That's his choice, right? And a man can choose how he wants to operate his life. So that's essentially what we're saying.
Not a woman. A woman can't decide.
So how the man operates his life? No, a woman should not be deciding how a man operates his life.
No. Y'all telling us that we can't decide for ourselves anything. The man has to decide everything, and the man has to validate.
It's just if you want to be in a relationship with a man who's going to lead you, you got to be able to. You got to be willing to have input from whatever practices or things.
He's saying I can't.
No, you can absolutely have input. It's just he has the final say.
What would it? If you're with a great guy, intuitive guy, principled guy who has structure and orderly, follows God to righteous, what is it that you would try to convince him of to do something different? Like, what would you be trying?
I'm not trying to convince him of anything. I'm going to find somebody that aligns with what I believe in. But that means if I read and I'm a reader and he reads too, like, why can't we read the same from the same page? Why can't we? That's why relationships not that strong, because somebody's always trying to pull somebody and change them into another way. But if we both on the same page and we both running quick, like I'm always going to give him the final say. I'm always going to let him decide. I always encourage him to be masculine. But you guys act like if a woman have any input that we're challenging your masculinity. I always promote him to like, look.
No, it comes up now. Now you're saying it different. Right, you're saying, so you've been saying just suggestions and input. You're not saying you're trying to dictate what he does.
I never said that. You see how he added it? I never said that. I said I gave him a book. I presented a book. Okay,
that's what I thought.
Yeah, but that's manipulation.
You literally said if you haven't read this book, you're not a good leader. You literally just said that. It's not the Bible.
Yeah, that's influence and manipulation.
Influence and manipulation.
There was one time.
Influence and manipulation, though.
And they wonder why these women ain't submissive.
No, Ruth, in the beginning of the conversation, in the beginning when you led with it, that's what might have threw them off. Is you said that if you're not reading this book, you may not be a good leader.
Can't you see how fairy talented it is for you to say that you want to find a man that just perfectly aligns with everything that you believe in all this? That's why there's compatibility issues with women. And these relationships fail. Y'all want a man to get in line.
Darwin, can you let me talk for a second? It's like for y'all. Listen, why would I?
Can you please stop talking with your hands?
If you're compatible, y'all not my man. If y'all not compatible, I only got to be submissive to my husband. Ask Biz. If y'all not compatible, like it would not be more compatible if I find somebody that aligns with what I believe in. That would be the best relationship because we believe the same thing. You're saying because I have to, like, I can't have a say. That don't make any kind of sense. But that's okay, Bruce. I know you're married. You'd be
more compatible.
But everybody else in the world is
you wouldn't be at this age unmarried.
How is he
if you were able to be led simple?
Bruce, how is he the leader then?
How am I not gonna be able? Y'all don't know my man. Listen, y'all gotta ask this man. I'm easy peasy. I'm just debating with y'all stubborn people, trying to let y'all see what the women are trying to say. But y'all won't hear nothing. Sometimes we have really good suggestions. Sometimes we have wisdom, but you're gonna miss it because she's a woman. She has a vagina. How dare her?
That's not true.
The same breath as me.
I'm
great. I'm a god. Like, come on.
You misunderstanding what it means for us to display masculinity. What me and Bruiser are strictly saying is we can read any book with you in the world that we want, but our decision on how we implement it based off of your opinion is not determining who we are as men. And if we allow you to be able to do that, we don't operating as man.
Why y'all so challenged
Absolute
and
facts,
threatened about your
100%.
manhood? Why?
No, that's just the truth. That's what it is.
So you guys you're used to dealing with challenging women, but if your woman cooperates, if she's feminine,
me and Bruiser used to deal with challenging women.
Say it again.
What?
Bruiser, do you get challenged? Are you dealing with this?
No,
not at all.
You pick somebody that aligned with you, but I can't do that. You see what I'm saying? You're going to tell your daughter. No,
and that's why I said impression is important. A woman who's impressionable can be led at a younger age. The older the woman get, she have all these principles. She have all these beliefs. She's indoctrinated. She have all these experiences. She have her favorite sex positions. She can't be led. You have to come and try to fit into her.
She has principles. So what? That's why you find a man who follows God as well. That you're not making any sense. Don't find anybody you align with. How dare you?
But the reason why it's different for man and woman because men choose who get married. Women choose who have sex. So if we're choosing you to be a wife and you can't be led,
red
and you
pill
don't
the Bible, because that's really what y'all acting like is the Bible.
Huh?
The Bible is the most red pill book there is. If you really want to be honest about it, it is.
I'm calling Casey and cussing her out tonight because she should have came up here with me. Y'all are being ridiculous tonight.
Casey would agree with me.
This is expected because we understand how women move.
Once a husband agrees, she'd agree with me.
What?
Women move like this as a mass, and it wasn't controlled. That's why it's so hard for men to find relationships because they are unleadable. They're out of order, and that they just can't be led.
So you're saying I can't be led?
He didn't say that. Ruth, he didn't say that.
You want to be honest with me?
Problem. He said
he did not say. He said women.
My gums too much for him, right? It's too much heat for you, right, Darwin?
You want to be honest with you?
You was doing good. You don't ruin the fantasy.
He about to get really.
90%, Darwin.
You want me to be honest with you?
This was your
from the outside looking in. I'm gonna just assume you're a single woman and you got the beliefs you stated. I think I genuinely believe that that's what you believe in, and that's what you value in men. The fact that you're able to articulate what you specifically value in a man to be your husband,
masculinity,
that lets me know that now I have to fit the description.
Yes.
That means I have to fall in line. That means your options are limited.
That means that there's no good men out there is what you're saying then.
I didn't say there was no good men out there. We said a good man was a man who was capable to lead, right? And I know I can't lead you because you have all these you have the criteria.
I never said that because I'm smart.
Of someone who forces a man to fit in. You won't even bend your. If I'm a Muslim and I say, hey, look, I'm looking for a wife and I find you beautiful. I want to take you as my wife. I'm a Muslim. I need you to do this. I need you to do that. I need you to worship Allah and pray and fast and all that. And you say no, that means you can't be led.
1 Corinthians 14:34. The woman should keep silent in the churches, for they are not permitted to speak, but should be in submission, as the law also says.
Marcus, this is the only time you read the Bible. Stop playing.
Hold on. I do not permit a woman to teach or to exercise authority over a man. Rather, she is to remain quiet. The woman should remain quiet in the church, for they are not permitted to speak, but should be in submission, as the law also says. There's anything they desire to learn. No, you said their husbands at home, for it is shameful for a woman to speak in church.
We talked about this already.
You said you Christian, Ruth. So what he's reading you is what the Bible says.
I understand.
And this is the reason why women find it more lucrative to be in transactional relationships.
If 3 men are yelling at me, 4 men are yelling at me.
No one's Ruth. We ain't yelling at you.
He won't let me finish my sentence. Maybe you are, but not Darwin.
But they're not yelling at you.
Okay, well, let me finish my sentences, please. Okay, a woman has to be smart. Okay, she's not going to be in a power position, so she needs to choose somebody that is masculine, that she can listen to, that she can get along with, that she's compatible with. It's nothing wrong. You want to tell your daughters just pick any man and follow him?
I'm not going to tell my daughter to pick nobody.
Darwin would.
I'm gonna let my.
He's not telling you to pick any man. They're not telling you to pick any man.
He said any man is the right man for me. I should listen.
I'm saying you have to put yourself in a position to get picked. But when you have all these preferences and deal breakers and criteria, now you limit your options on being chosen.
Darwin,
I'm saying that's the reason why it's easier to pick a woman when she's younger, coming from covering of her father, because she don't tend to have all this trauma and all these pet peeves and deal breakers and breaking points, or religious preferences or favorite sex positions and favorite restaurants and shit that we got to try to fit into.
I don't do none of that. I've never picked a restaurant. What is you talking about? You see what I'm saying?
So you don't got a favorite position?
Why you gotta go to sex? What you talking about? We can do
it's not included in relationships.
It don't matter. Like he gets treated like a king. What?
You got a favorite? You got
You guys are.
You have principles, right? You're a principled woman, right?
Yes, I am.
There you go. Your principles is based off of who?
Proverbs 31. I am a Proverbs 31 woman, based off of God. That's why I follow a man who follows God. You see how that works?
Okay.
Y'all want to tell the people to follow the Bible, but y'all can't even understand you need to follow God, and then the woman follows you.
So the man, you said you was previously married, right?
But you're telling me to follow a man if he doesn't follow God. That's the problem.
You said you were previously married, right?
Say it again. Yeah.
You said you was in a relationship with a God-fearing man before, right?
No, he turned out not to be God-fearing. But go ahead.
You just said
that's why it didn't work.
And now you're telling me you was in a relationship with a man that wasn't God-fearing.
That's why it didn't work. I was also 19 when I got married. That's why it didn't work, because he wasn't God-fearing. So now I'm gonna find some. Now I have found somebody.
Okay, I get it. So you're in order to start the relationship, they don't have to be God-fearing. So God-fearing is something you figure out later after busting it open.
No, it's called. What are you talking about?
All right, we gotta go ahead and
I'm saying, like, these things happen later on in the relationship where you found out he wasn't God-fearing, and then you decided to depart from the relationship.
I didn't decide to depart from the relationship. The person did not want to break up with me. He had a whole girlfriend. What are you talking about?
All right, we're about to ready to go ahead and read to these super chats real quick. We could just AP accountability partner $2 says Trev wins debate. Shoot me your Cash App. I think he did that already. Halloween is $5 says Trev concur. and discernment. Accountability partner founder says, Darwin, can you find Bruce? That dude was a rock star. You're goofier than AP. Don't forget to check out a She Critique on Fridays. Congo English has concur. They are Ruth Waldo. Lastly, advanced perception $5. The key to a successful marriage and relationship is service to one another. As soon as someone says, I'm not doing that, the relationship unravels. Everybody hit that like button. Thank you guys for tuning in. Catch us on the next time.